What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. For WF chapter 111 I have to say that the speed of the land is really fast enough. After Xuan Che proposed a war indemnity of 10 billion taels, Xuan Tu immediately notified the decision-making group staying in Iwagakure and the daimyo of the country of Soil to allocate funds. Only a week before and after, immediately put 10 billion taels in front of Xuan Che. Tsunade's eyes straightened when he saw the banknotes piled up into hills. She doesn't like money, but she likes to gamble with money. To be precise, she is the kind of feeling that likes to gamble. No way, her grandfather Senju Hashirama inherited it from generation to generation. No way, Tsunade-sama, this is for Konoha, Nohara Lin reminded angrily. Cut. Got it. Although Tsunade was a good gambler, he knew the seriousness of the matter, so he had to tilt his head to the other side and not look at the pile of bills. In order to barely resist the temptation, release. Xuan Che turned to Jiraiya. Jiraiya turned and left the camp, and soon brought Dao9 Yemu. Father. Xuan Tu anxiously greeted him, worrying. They didn't abuse you, huh, these juniors don't have the guts yet. Oh Yemu wanted face, but Xuan Che did not deliberately target this old man, he was not so boring. There is bad news, father. When Konoha's people were not paying attention, Xuan Tu bowed his body and put it next to Ono's fungus and said. The daimyo asked for this to be more than money, and we have to return half of it before the end of the war. A huge sum of money like 10 billion taels, a shinobi village close to Rock Shinobi could not be allocated at all. Instead, he sought help from the name of the land country. Although the daimyo reluctantly set aside the money, how did he let you go for nothing? So much money to save you is to make you more money. Will the war continue? The old man Oyemu immediately understood the meaning of the name of the land of the land. Thinking of this, Oyemu looked at Xuan Che with a deep meaning and said. As an ally, San Shinobi watched from the sidelines at Konoha's hardest time. Presumably you, Hitaki Xuan Che, are also quite dissatisfied with this matter? Although Xuan Che's political level is not so sophisticated, it is not difficult to hear the meaning of Onoki's words. He smiled lightly. Advertisement, up to you. After getting the answer they wanted, Onoki and Xuan Tu turned around and left. Master Xuan Che, what did Tsuchikage say just now? Shi Rihong curiously said. They are ready to attack San Shinobi and recover the lost money from the Kingdom of Wind. Xuan Che raised his finger and motioned to his people to put all the money away, and explained to Shi Rihong at the same time. How so? The little angel Lynx Nohara said to herself. Being looted must be plundered from other people. It is because this kind of thing continues to circulate, so will the hatred continue to be spread? Yes, this is war. Terumi Mei can see through more than Nohara Lin. But the Nation of Wind is our ally, isn't it? Don't you help them? Shi Rihong said curiously. Cut. When we were attacked by Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi before, they ran faster than anyone else, League. My poo. At the mention of this, Tsunade couldn't get angry. The weak are not qualified to make demands, and if they have any comments, we followed the Rock Shinobi a fight. Xuan Che smiled. Hey, would not so hard, right? Jiraiya smiled. At this time, a special John and Senju family entered the tent, looked to the Xuan Che and Tsunade, hesitated after 2 seconds will be submitted to a small real Xuan Che hands and said. Xuan Che adults, Nawaki patriarch to your letter. Anyway, these two are a pair, to everyone okay? Tsunade adults and feel completely where to eat. This named Senju clan heart secretly whispered. Xuan Che opened the scroll, Tsunade Kushong from the side. However, do not wait for Tsunade see the specific contents of the above. Xuan Che has closed his reel and said. Go Daming, ready to convene 4th Hokage's successor. Is it finally here? Xuan Che his words, everyone around the heart or the heart Ling however, the original end of the war the joy of the moment and was replaced by tension. In this era of old and new alternate sensitive period of time. Often the most dangerous, the present Uchiha family which is the most clear. Then dissatisfied 30 Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo, who, claiming to be with Senju Tobarama legacy back to the village took over the position of 3rd Hokage. Advertisement but that was 2 Senju and Uchiha clan fierce opposition. 2 founding Han disdained Sarutobi Hiruzen group of people. Finally, it just forced the elders group now makes a series of shady means, before finally the femerals sit tight. Small number of people staying here, all forbearance clan daming fu go with me. Xuan Che ordered. Yes, the crowd responded in unison. 3rd Forbearance World War did not end. War for 2 years, 5 Forbearance Village, the current minimum loss of Iwagakure, after 10 billion to pay a huge indemnity to 2 Konoha. 10,000 army on the front line, not only did not return to withdraw the country's soil, but mighty wind toward the border of the country to enter. Rock Shinobi purpose discerning eye to see that. Kiba just want to be salvaged out of the water from the pit of his land wind. Luo scared to 4th Kazekage San Shinobi, led by Senior rushed for help to the allies as the land of fire. Get the reply is clear to lousy roll, bother me, I followed you to play together. Of course, the mouth cannot be so rude reply. Kiba just said is now badly hurt, too busy to help. But the thread of metaphor, or hidden among the subline. Luo gas sand straight BS ing. A last resort only pro-war, to withstand the onslaught from Iwagakure. And Konoha, Cloud Shinobi, Mist Shinobi 3 Forbearance Village, apparently did not mind going to continue to fight. In this war, several came from the name of the hero of Konoha, Shine. Continuation of the previous Forbearance World War brilliant record of Konoha's White Fang Teeth, Princess Senju, Toad Sage and so on. And just like the rise of the Gold Star Glitter, but the real protagonist on the war. There is no doubt that single-handedly changed the entire war. Many people can be described as the end of the year in the first Sengoku era Hokage Senju Hashirama Uchiha Madara Par and Men. Hitaki Xuan Che. Many older people have claimed that if he was born the era of Sengoku, that Konoha's founding family, we must add a Hitaki up. Chapter 112 Country of Fire, Daming Mansion. This is the undisputed and most prosperous place in the Country of Fire. It is as luxurious as the general mansion of the Neon Shogunate period. With the castle as the center, it is surrounded by a trading center with an area more than twice that of Konoha. Naturally, there are also ninja guards. Some of them are ninjas born in Konoha, and a large part of them are mercenaries trained by the daimyo himself or hired with high salaries. The highest floor of the Daming City Mansion, in the conference room. At the main seat, the Fire Country daimyo, who was about the same age as Sarutobi Hiruzen, was swaying an origami fan, looking carefully at everyone present. The first to bear the brunt is undoubtedly the first candidate for the next Hokage, Senju Tsunade. It is rumored that her combat effectiveness on the front line is very sturdy, coupled with the direct lineage of first Hokage. There is no doubt that she is the best candidate for Hokage. Not to mention the name of the world's first sacred hand, the daimyo did not dare defend her immediately. After all, who can guarantee that he will not get sick? Will there be a day to turn to Tsunade? Then, Uchiha Fugaku, the patriarch of the Uchiha family. At present, the position of Hokage has been passed down to the fourth generation, but there is no Uchiha family, one of the first generations. Presumably they have accumulated a lot of grievances in their hearts? But now that Konoha's military strength is so strong, Uchiha should not be able to make any waves. Secondly, Ino Shikacho, Inazuka, Aburame, etc. Konoha shinobi. There is no need for special attention. When daimyo turned to the Konoha elders F4 group headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Deep resentment flashed in his eyes. This is of course not because he is dissatisfied with the four people's ability to run the village or political methods. How many Konoha geniuses they killed is a matter for themselves. What really annoyed daimyo was that these idiots made Mist Shinobi's army into the Country of Fire. The southern region suffered huge economic losses. This account is on his head, otherwise, how could he agree to change Hokage? Hurry up and get to the point. Xuan Che, who swallowed half of the crystal grapes in the fruit bowl into his stomach on the vice seat directly opposite the Daming, said with no respect. The election of fourth Hokage. Advertisement Sarutobi Hiruzen's treatment of daimyo is undoubtedly the attitude of his subordinates towards his superiors. In his Hitaki Xuan Che, he doesn't have this hobby. In Xuan Che's view, Ying Daming is the relationship between the gun and the money bag of a country. During the war, the former is important. In peacetime, the latter is important. No one is more noble on either side. I can be polite, but there is no need to bow down to you. If nothing else, just take this war as an example. If it weren't for his own guns to come forward, you don't know if you can keep your money bag. Yes. There really is no need to waste time. From the beginning, the name was an old yin and yang person. But unlike Nawaki's deliberately pretended yin and yang tone, he was born with this voice. In addition, the appearance is the fusion of thin and tall figure with its own feminine breath. Xuan Che always thinks of the term, father-in-law, so Xuan Che often jokingly calls him, the eunuch's name. However, in this case, as long as the brain is not drawn, it is impossible to say it publicly. People are moneybags anyhow. Although all the high-level officials in the Country of Fire are convened, I don't think there is much to discuss, right? Xuan Che cast his gaze slightly, and quickly walked away from the head of the Nin clan and political representatives next to the table, and then said, apart from Tsunade, is there a better candidate? Master Xuan Che is right. In the second and third ninja wars, one after another, no one is more suitable than Tsunade-sama for the unparalleled achievements of the Fire Nation. The Inazuka family has no opinion. Ninja clan chiefs such as Uchiha Fugaku, Hyuga Heishi, Inazuka Claw, etc. all agreed. Same as Naralukuji. The change of Hokage's position is now a certainty. Think about Xuan Che's usual style. Don't stand in line at this time. Are two of them eager to find death? And every time a patriarch opens his mouth to express his approval. The F4 face of the elders opposite was even worse. Advertisement damn it is all overkill, and other politicians in the Land of Fire also discussed in a low voice. Similarly, no one dared to speak out against it, even if it is a good relationship with Sarutobi Hiruzen. After all, in this ninja war, Sarutobi Hiruzen made too many mistakes. First, I didn't see through Cloud Shinobi's tactics. Then let Mist Shinobi's ninja army invade the territory of the Fire Country. Under such circumstances, if they help Sarutobi Hiruzen to speak, they will only provoke themselves. Moreover, it will offend the new monsters Hokage and Hitaki Xuan Che. There is no objection, is it? Daming turned to look around, but his main gaze was obviously focused on F4 of the elders group. Udatane Kaharu's face was wrinkled, and he instinctively wanted to stand up. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen next to her quickly pulled her cuffs on the table, his eyes beckoning Udatane Kaharu not to mess around. From the head of the intelligence department to Anbu, the head of some of the team captains, and then to the senior advisor, all positions have to be changed. It's no wonder that Tsunade, who took the post of 3 hot new officials, didn't take all his skin off. Obviously, Nawaki couldn't wait to cut the grass and roots of the senior Konoha. Compared to a fool like Utatane Kaharu, who is only incompetent and furious, Sarutobi Hiruzen is obviously more minded. At this time, Nawaki, who was the head of the Senju family, spoke. Xuan Che said quietly. Nawaki raised her brows and said with disdain, "You are no longer. To know that he has too many shameful things, if these are picked out." This time, Hiruzen didn't have time to stop Hiruzen. Utatane Kaharu straightly got up from his seat. "What did you say? Sorry, brother-in-law bought it. It's not just the position of Hokage," Sarutobi Hiruzen said solemnly. Seeing Xuan Che speak, Nawaki choked back into his stomach again. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Nawaki, don't say a few words. The current senior executives have served in various positions for decades. If they are replaced all at once, it is likely to cause problems with Konoha's turnover. This is inappropriate. Even Danzo's face changed drastically. Chapter 113. Utatane Kaharu, Mitokado Homura and Danzo were all aghast. I never thought that Xuan Che would actually stop Senju Nawaki. They all thought that Nawaki was instructed by Xuan Che, so they said that. Only Sarutobi Hiruzen remained silent in the group of 4, presumably not knowing what he was thinking. In short, let's proceed immediately to the succession ceremony for the new position of Hokage, and Mr. Daimyo will also be invited to attend. Xuan Che stood up and said, I see. I also hope that Konoha can once again show the glory of first Hokage during his tenure under the leadership of the new Hokage. The daimyo himself knew very well, Hitaki Xuan Che and Senju Tsunade are not as good as Sarutobi Hiruzen. But since there is no other crooked mind, but you don't need to worry too much. But he couldn't help being curious. Will the Sarutobi Hiruzen quartet be so willing to give up the power that has been in control for 30 years? But think about it again, this is the end of the matter, and no one can change the situation. Even his name is the same. For the third ninja war, only Iwaguru vs Sand Shinobi is still in progress. Cloud Shinobi Village is still preparing to redeem the 10 billion taels needed for third Raikage. Rumor has it that Tutai is acting as the representative of Cloud Shinobi Village and is negotiating with the daimyo of Leijikuni. Hope that the money can be paid by the daimyo. Kirigakure was replaced by the 4th Mizukage by Yugura. Mist Shinobi, who has lost all the 7 ninja swords, will surely be unable to recover in a short time. This sea country facing the ninja continent across the sea, within a short period of time, should not appear in the field of vision of the early public. But Xuan Che knew that things were not that simple. The old fox Uchiha Madara, in Kirigakure, can never be the only puppet of 3rd Mizukage. Even if there was only one before, he would be able to create another one immediately. After Xuan Che and others ended their meeting with the daimyo, the Ino Shikacho tribe and other frontline forces, who completed post-war negotiations with Kirigakure, also returned to Konoha village one after another. Advertisement at the same time, the war to judge Konoha officially ended. While the whole village ushered in the long-lost carnival, a piece of news quickly spread throughout Konoha, and even the entire fire country in ninja world. Senju Tsunade will take over as 4th Hokage. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen is not dead, but with the means of Xuan Che and the character of Tsunade. How could it be possible to allow the 2-cage ninja village to happen like the original Namikaze Minato? After returning to the village, Tsunade himself immediately ordered. Immediately throw all the personal belongings of the predecessor Hokage to the Sarutobi clan. Especially things related to cigarettes. She can't stand the smell of smoke most. Nawaki, who was transferred from a ninja schoolteacher to Hokage's assistant, is even more polite. Directly replace all the things used by the Sarutobi Hiruzen quartet. To express their dissatisfaction with this bunch of old things. A Chunin, or Chunin elite, dared to treat himself this way. The 4 members of the elders group were naturally angry with their hands and nose, but they didn't dare to attack. Sarutobi family land, Sarutobi Hiruzen's residence. Hiruzen, are you willing to hand over the Konoha that Mr. Tobarama gave us to Tsunade's little girl? Facing the tea offered by Sarutobi Hiruzen, Utatane Kaharu didn't even bother to taste it. The wrinkles on his face flicked with anger. If this sentence is heard by Senju Tobarama, I am afraid it is not going to come alive. If Tsunade had the current strength and aptitude at that time, I'm afraid it won't be your turn, right? Even if Senju Tobarama is still alive at this time. Let him choose the heir. As long as his mind is still normal, he should also choose Tsunade. Do you want to seize power? Compared to the 3 furious old friends, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked much calmer, squinting his eyes and said. Is that right? Utatane Kaharu and others instantly calmed down as if they were splashed with cold water. Seize power. Well, of course they want to, but how to do it is another matter. It's just a mouthful, and everyone knows how to do it. You want to say hilariously that it doesn't matter if you want to unify the ninja world. Advertisement Sarutobi Hiruzen poured another cup of hot tea for Mitokado Homura and Danzo, and said solemnly. If you are going to force it, then it happens to be Hitaki Xuan Che's plan. He is waiting for you to do it, and then kill us. What did you say? Utatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura's faces changed in shock. At the meeting in the daimyo mansion before, why did you think he discouraged Nawaki? Is it really because he couldn't bear to expel you from your position? Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head and explained to this group of old fools. He feels that removing posts is not enough, he wants to find a chance to kill us all. At this moment, the Senju clan is in a huge courtyard. Wearing casual clothes, a straw hat on his head, and a hoe next to Xuan Che, he is holding in one hand the secret information that Orochimaru secretly dispatched the summoning beast to him. Holding a rice ball in the other hand, he gushed it into his mouth. Around, there are 3 big loli, Yurihong and Terumi Mei, and a group of summoning beasts from the Hitaki family. Holding a rice ball in each hand, the one that is gnawed is called a fragrant. Originally, too many people died in the Senju clan at the end of the Second Ninja War. But because of the natural beauty, there is not only no reduction in points. Master Xuan Che is still in touch with Orochimaru. San Loli, who still had rice particles on his mouth, saw the intelligence scroll in Xuan Che's hand, and was frightened in his heart. That's right, Xuan Che moved his vegetable garden to the Senju clan. Yukirigakure has been controlled by Uchiha for 2 consecutive generations of Mizukage. That is really dark. And Orochimaru's defection was actually planted and blamed by the elders? Somewhat like a Kwewa girl, Xuan Che is funny inside. The 3 loli also changed the ninja clothes into home furnishings, because they helped to plow the land. There was still a lot of dirt on their bodies. I bought the vacant land. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. It also gives a special taste. Terumi Mei even called the darkness directly. For Xuan Che, this thing has changed from a leisure time pastime to a unique way of relaxing. As a result, a large amount of land in the Senju tribe is vacant. Xuan Che reluctantly took out a very small part of the 10 billion taels paid by Rock Shinobi. They just feel that their worldview has collapsed, okay? Chapter 114 This secret information from Orochimaru. The main content of the story is about Danzo. Among them, apart from being ashamed that Danzo has been in contact with him, relying on his medical technology to suppress the runaway of Hashirama cells in his right hand. I also mentioned that Danzo is now increasingly eager to get stronger power. But now that he is over half 100 years old, it is absolutely impossible for him to break through only by the method of cultivation. He has now shifted his goal to this method of transplantation. Because of Hashirama's cells, his body has become a virtue that is not human or ghost. But it also gave him a taste of the sweetness of blood succession boundary. Danzo also plans to transplant Uchiha Shisui's Sharingan and even Uzumaki Kashina's 9 tails to him. That's right, Danzo firmly believes that once he has the 2 forces of Senju and Uchiha, he can control the power of the tail beast more perfectly than Kashina. But the first step is to complete the transplantation of Sharingan. It is the eyes of Uchiha Shisui, who has been imprisoned for several years and has become the perfect test for Hashirama cells. And transplanting Sharingan and other tasks, that can't be done by ordinary medical ninjas. Danzo approached Orochimaru again, hoping that he could assist him in the transplantation of Sharingan. Orochimaru wrote this secret letter to Xuan Che, just to confirm what Xuan Che meant. Do you want to help Danzo transplant? Orochimaru, who hasn't had much interest in Sharingan yet, is actually not interested in Shisui's eyes with Danzo. He even wanted to see if the power of Senju and Uchiha were really concentrated on one person. What will happen then? Gone, there is still this kind of thing. Xuan Che slapped his forehead and said embarrassingly that he had forgotten about Uchiha Shisui. Who calls this kid dare not exist in the original book or in the book author of the dog? I don't remember when he lost it. Shisui was arrested. Nohara Lin and Yurihong, who came up to take a peek behind, exclaimed in unison. For this year, they graduated in the same year, but it took only a few months to complete the super genius from enrollment to graduation from the ninja school. But they left a very deep impression on them. Advertisement. But didn't it mean that he died in a mission? The truth is, Terumi Mei was also completely dumbfounded. I sigh in my heart that you Konoha are too good at playing, right? After reading the secret letter sent by Orochimaru, Xuan Che thought for a while, and threw the letter next to Erha's foot. A group of huskies of royal blood use letters as toys, and they don't even know the mother who tears them instantly. 1 hectare tops 3 tigers, 3 hectares Shen aircraft carrier, 5 hectares fights against God, 10 hectares creates the century. Haven't heard of it? It's more troublesome to say this kind of thing in a letter. Ask your master to come to Konoha to talk to me. Xuan Che said to the summoning red snake who was in charge of delivering the letter to Orochimaru. The red snake was startled when he heard the words, spit out the snake and said, Master Xuan Che, return to Konoha as Master Orochimaru now rebellious, I'm afraid the risk is too. Now Konoha no longer has his surname Sarutobi, although it is impossible for him to walk in an open manner, there is no need to worry about danger. Xuan Che twisted his neck, or, are you questioning my ability? The villain will tell Master Orochimaru. The red snake was so scared to death, nothing else turned into smoke and returned to the summoning world. In the darkness of the village, there is so much darkness that we don't know. The 3 big loli are completely stunned. For this group of girls who are only 13 years old, the excitement is indeed greater. I have already reminded you not to watch it, you just wanted to get it together. Xuan Che ravaged the little heads of the 3 women. At the beginning, it is better to tell them a lot of things that they don't know, and they keep trying to get together. Do you think you were listening to the corner? That's right, Xuan Che knew what the 3 girls eavesdropped on the other side of the wall when they were doing business with Tsunade on the front line. 2 days later, late at night, moonlight poured on the courtyard of Xuan Che's new home. Advertisement Nohara Lin and Terumi Mei have fallen asleep. And Tsunade, who is busy with his successor to 4th Hokage, has been staying in Hokage's office these days, dealing with a mountain of documents 24 hours a day. Zero fine flowers according to Nawaki, the woman has already regretted it. And no one would have thought that at such a critical moment, there would be an S-rank rebels returning to Konoha. If this matter is announced, your Sarutobi teacher will not say that Danzo is absolutely ruined, but his reputation is already very bad. I don't think he will care about this kind of thing on his face. Xuan Che, who was sitting on the courtyard stone bench, chuckled lightly. At the shadow corners of the wall, as the figure walked out slowly, Orochimaru's face gradually became clear in the moonlight. If the truth of this incident is told to the whole village, will the wrongful name I bear be washed away? Zero, Orochimaru said hoarsely. Do you still care about this? Xuan Che's pupils dilated slightly, and his tone was exaggerated. Of course it is impossible. Regardless of the truth about Uchiha Shisui, I have kidnapped teacher Sarutobi's son. This has become an established fact. It is impossible to restore Konoha Shinobi's identity, and I don't want to. Orochimaru shrugged, and suddenly smiled badly. However, I developed a very interesting ninjutsu, which is like showing it to Mrs. Sarutobi. Living corpse reincarnation. Xuan Che vaguely guessed what Orochimaru's technique was, and then asked. Recently, Tsunade is preparing for the succession ceremony of Hokage. You must wait for this event to end if you want to do it. No, I'm not in a hurry. Orochimaru sneered. Asuma-kun, the important medium of that technique, it will take about 3 years to become a perfect container. He still can't bear the technique. I want to wait until that time to tell the old story well with teacher Sarutobi. When hearing Asuma, the container waited for a series. Xuan Che has completely guessed what Orochimaru wants to do. Will you call you Sarutobi Orochimaru after co-authoring? Is that guy okay? Speaking of Asuma, Xuan Che asked casually. You yelled all day to kill me, and Xuan Che-kun, you are really a vigorous child. Orochimaru stretched out the long house, adding a circle around the corner as usual. Son. Chapter 115. Konoha August 2nd 45. Today is not only Tsunade's 35th birthday, but also her succession ceremony to officially take over as Konohagakure's 4th Hokage. At the top of the Hokage building in the middle of the village, Tsunade took off the shadow hat with the word, "Fire," on his head, revealing the pretty face that was visually only 25 years old, and shouted loudly. I am, from Konoha village 4th Hokage. Tens of thousands of Konoha residents gathered in front of the square below, raising their hands one by one, shouting excitedly. Master Tsunade. Master 4th generation, so handsome, Tsunade-sama. Please lead Konoha, Hokage-sama. It's such an exaggerated popularity, I feel like I have been compared to it. The top of the intelligence department building half a mile away from the administrative building. 9, 2, 3, Xuan Che, who was in casual clothes, sat on the balcony with his legs upright and teased himself. Compared to the murderers themselves, Hitaki Shumo and others, Tsunade, who has the title of Holy Hand, is obviously more respectable than Xuan Che's executioners. As for Konoha's ninja, no one would dare to say that he did not accept Tsunade's medical skills. In addition, Sarutobi Hiruzen made so many mistakes in the Third Ninja War. Tsunade was promoted to the position of Hokage, and everything was so ripe and smooth. But there are still some factors of insecurity, brother-in-law. While Nawaki behind him said this, he glanced at the information department building under his feet. Since Sarutobi Hiruzen took over as the 3rd generation, the Shimura family's master intelligence department has been around for nearly 30 years. In the latter part of the Second Ninja War, the Senju clan strayed into the enemy's trap, causing the entire clan to be almost annihilated. It was because of the information error of the Ministry of Information. Of course, it is worth thinking about whether it is a mistake. This situation is the same as the Sarutobi Hiruzen quartet determined that Sarutobi Shinosuke died at the hands of Xuan Che, but there is no evidence. Tsunade and Nawaki were in this state. They also believed 100% that the accident of the Senju clan was caused by the F4 elders, but there is no evidence. Mistakes. Who can you blame? Under this premise, the siblings can only smash their teeth and swallow them in their stomachs. F4, oh no, how about those 4 people? Xuan Che asked with his back to Nawaki. Unexpectedly quiet, I am afraid that I have seen through your mind, brother-in-law, prepare to be low-key, but I don't think they can hold on for long. Advertisement mentioning this topic, Nawaki cursed angrily with one hand on his hips. He also hoped that those old immortals would come out and do something, so that he could seize the handle and punish them. As a result, these old people were on top of their old sister, and they retracted into the hole like mice, making him unable to get out. Oh, they will always do more messy things than you think. Xuan Che motioned to Yi Yuanlin next to her. Seeing this, Lin Nohara took out a scroll from the ninja bag on her waist and handed it to Nawaki. Brother-in-law, this is. Nawaki frowned in confusion. Give you a gift, this matter is up to you. Xuan Che smiled, and then led the 2 daughters, Lin Lin and Terumi Mei, to leave. Nawaki blinked in confusion, then pulled the scroll off. 5 seconds later, Nawaki's eyes stared like copper bells, and he exclaimed. This is. 3 minutes later, Nawaki suddenly put away the scroll and rushed to the Hokage building. The succession ceremony of 4th Hokage is over. With the expectation of the new Hokage, the villagers began to return to their daily work and life. The ninja clan returned to their clan lands and started to discuss what new path the family should take after the new Hokage was appointed. After all, the predecessor Hokage is not dead yet and the new Hokage is in charge. Don't say Konoha, it happened for the first time in the entire ninja world. But even so, all the ninjas have the same views immediately stand in line to the new Hokage Tsunade Hime. The reasons for being younger, stronger, and more open-minded will not be mentioned for the time being. Just because there is a terrifying man behind her is enough. Even Moonlight, Shiranui, and other tribes like Sarutobi Hiruzen, who are holding his thigh crazily kneeling and licking, can see. After Tsunade took over, she would never let those 4 people go. Now hurry up and clear the relationship with the old parties and embrace the new thigh as the best policy. 0. No way, who calls her such a man? Among these ninjas, there is a very special family. Advertisement. Although he did not express resistance on the surface, he still had a lot of his own little nines in his heart. This ninja is Uchiha. The Uchiha ninja, who is accustomed to wearing black clothes with a ping-pong racket printed on the back, is the Uchiha ninja with the flame fan logo on the way back to the clan. Wait until you step into the gate of the clan land. As a radical wing of the Uchiha family, Jonin Uchiha Tio whispered to Uchiha Fugaku. Patriarch, this is the 3rd person from the Senju clan to hold the position of Hokage. In his tone, there was dissatisfaction and jealousy that could not be concealed. What happened to the Senju clan really shocked and deterred Uchiha. As a result, the former patriarch of Uchiha Fugaku, the patriarch of the Uchiha family, had to agree with Sarutobi Hiruzen's Hokage position because of fear of the elder's means. But it's different now. Taihuo, with the strength, record and reputation of Tsunade-sama, it is indisputable to hold the position of Hokage. You don't need to say that. Uchiha Fugaku said solemnly, especially radicals like Uchiha Tio. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. But even so, Uchiha Fugaku still retains a whole card of his own. Not to mention that behind Tsunade, there is also support with Xuan Che. Mangekyo Sharingan. No matter what, he was not qualified to compete with Tsunade for the position of Hokage. Tsunade came to the top and served as 4th Hokage. Hearing what Uchiha Fugaku said, the radicals were not easy to mention, so they had to hold back their inner breath. This trump card allows him, the Jonin elite, to have a higher level of capital than Cage level. Yes. His heart is also very compelling. No one in the clan knew about this, but Uchiha Fugaku left him the last whole card. In this way, they are both a clan to create villages. This inevitably makes Uchiha's people unhappy. No way, who makes other men powerful? Of the 4 Hokages, Senju accounted for 3, while Uchiha had none. Chapter 116. Dad, come on, Itachi, let Dad give you a hug. After returning to his home, he embraced his son Uchiha Itachi from his wife Uchiha Makoto's arms. Just turned 2 years old but already speaks fluently. But only at this moment can he feel peaceful happiness. According to his knowledge of Tsunade, among other things, at least Tsunade will not deliberately target or even suppress Uchiha like Sarutobi Hiruzen was when he was Hokage. Logically speaking, Tsunade's promotion to the 4th generation position should be a good thing. But what he didn't expect from the patriarch was that there were many radicals in the clan with jealousy. This is not incomprehensible. After all, Senju and Uchiha are both the founders of Konoha. Why do you have 3 Hokages in Senju, but we don't have one in Uchiha? Uchiha Fugaku's headache is getting worse, although he personally thinks that Uchiha maintains the status quo is actually good. But he observed the state of many people in the current clan. Discovering the situation, it seems that I can't proceed as smoothly as I imagined. Fugaku, what happened? Wife Uchiha Makoto noticed the sorrow between her husband's eyebrows and came up to inquire intimately. Oh 9. No, it's nothing. Uchiha Fugaku smiled reluctantly, suppressing the worries in his heart, lest his wife worry. Patriarch Fugaku, Anbu, please see me. At this time, a voice came from outside the door. Uchiha Fugaku frowned and walked out quickly. I saw a ninja wearing a gray vest and an Anbu mask waiting outside the door. What's up? Uchiha Fugaku asked. My assistant, please go to the intelligence department and the police can also go with you. After Anbu left this sentence, he disappeared in place with the body flicker technique. Assistant Sama. Senju Nawaki. Uchiha Fugaku was taken aback for a moment, then reacted and shook his head secretly. He was promoted from an ordinary teacher in a ninja school to an assistant Hokage in one breath. No wonder many Uchiha people are jealous. Advertisement. Danzo, you lost. In the courtyard of the patriarch's residence in the Sarutobi clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen's car is just one step away from Danzo's handsome. But Danzo's few pawns are completely unable to withdraw from the defense, and the victory or defeat is already divided. Chess invented by Xuan Che. Naraluju found a business opportunity, manufactured it on a large scale and exported it to various countries, and brought a large part of Konoha's considerable income. Even many residents in the village, who have nothing to do, like to play a game. Among them is F4 of the Elders Group. Your heart hasn't calmed down. Sarutobi Hiruzen pointed out Danzo's problem. In this situation, I am more curious how you can calm down. Danzo got up and flicked his sleeves fiercely, as if he had no intention of playing chess. He coldly shouted. Master Tsunade, how she will treat us in the future, don't you worry at all. As soon as this remark came out, Udotane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura who were watching the match frowned. What else? It's nothing more than expelling our position and demoting the members of the Sarutobi and Shimura family who are in charge of the various departments to ordinary ninjas. Sarutobi Hiruzen calmly analyzed. As long as we don't show any flaws, Tsunade can't do it even if we want to do it. After all, we are the elders who have worked hard for Konoha for 30 years. If Tsunade wants to secure the position of Hokage, she will not dare to do what she wants. Compared to the other three, Sarutobi Hiruzen has a more sophisticated personality, but also looks more open. What they lose is nothing more than the power in their hands and the privileges of the family. Indeed, for people with heavy weights like them, it is very painful to happen this kind of thing. But compared to life, power is not that important anymore, is it? You know, Tsunade, or the Hitaki Xuan Che behind Tsunade. But always staring at me, wanting my own life. Compared with life, Sarutobi Hiruzen would rather delegate power. At least he has enjoyed the supreme power that more than 99.9% of the people in the world cannot enjoy in their lifetimes for 30 years. Humph. Danzo hummed heavily. You Sarutobi Hiruzen enjoyed it, but I don't have Shimura Danzo. If you can't become the leader of this ninja world, transplant Hashirama cells yourself and become such a person, not a human or a ghost. Wouldn't it be a waste of water in a bamboo basket? Master Hokage. At this time, a Jonin from the Sarutobi family quickly ran into the courtyard and fell on one knee in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Advertisement. The next second I suddenly realized that Sarutobi Hiruzen is no longer Hokage, so he changed his words quickly. Hiruzen-sama, Senju Nawaki led a large number of ninjas and Uchiha ninjas to gather at the mouth of the intelligence department. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned slightly when he heard the words. The intelligence department has been under the control of the Shimura family for many years. Is this planning a major exchange of blood? However, it is not waiting for Sarutobi Hiruzen to answer. Danzo disappeared in the same place with a jerk and hurried out anxiously. In this scene, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udatane Kaharu, and Midokado Homura in the courtyard were stunned. But in the next second, Sarutobi Hiruzen also quickly got up and chased after him. The same is true for Udatane Kaharu and Midokado Homura. Although I don't know the specific reason, but Danzo's expression of horror was rare just now. Master Nawaki, why are you calling so many people? In front of the main entrance of the intelligence department, Uchiha Fugaku led a dozen Uchiha ninjas from the police force and asked Nawaki puzzled. Not only the Uchiha clan, Senju, Inoshikacho, Inazuka, Aburame and other families. Some people were called in each. Please look at something that can absolutely subvert your worldview. Nawaki revealed a mysterious smile and wanted to lead the crowd into the intelligence department building. Hold on. Just as Nawaki opened the door, Danzo also rushed to him, exhausting his life and shouting. Why trespass to the intelligence department? Through the flush and complexion, we can see that Danzo rushed all the way and took a lot of effort. Do I have to explain anything to you, former intelligence minister? Nawaki's tone was full of teasing and sarcasm. What do you mean? Danzo asked with a cold face. It stands to reason that although you are old, you shouldn't be inaudible to your ears, right? Nawaki raised an eyebrow and sneered. Finally, then I will take care of your not very bright mind. Let me say it again. I am now going to exercise my power as Hokage's assistant to check the situation of the intelligence department, that's it. With that said, Nawaki didn't want to talk to Danzo anymore, and opened the door and walked in. No, Danzo yelled, and rushed forward to stop Nawaki. Chapter 117. Just as Danzo rushed forward, he was about to grab one of Nawaki's hand. A flash of light blasted through the air, pushing Danzo's outstretched hand away. And push it away. Although it is an extremely simple action, but only two gestures show the difference between this person and Danzo like heaven and earth. Golden glitter. Namikaze Minato, please don't do that, former Minister of Intelligence, Lord Danzo. Minato stood between Nawaki and Danzo and said, now this is no longer your management scope. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udatane Kaharu and Midokado Homura also arrived. Minato. Hiruzen worked so hard to even teach you the flying thunder god of teacher Tobarama. Is that how you repay your kindness? Danzo gritted his teeth and asked, after Tsunade came to power, you couldn't wait to be the opponent's dog. Namikaze Minato frowned and glanced at Sarutobi Hiruzen who rushed over from behind, with a calm expression like his old expression. I certainly remember the kindness of the third-generation Sama, but Danzo-sama, you said that I am Tsunade-sama's dog, which is a bit too much. Namikaze Minato slapped a hand on her own moon, and the justice spoke clearly. I, Namikaze Minato, as a Konoha shinobi, are naturally loyal to Konoha and obey the command of the current Lord Hokage. What's wrong? Accompanied by Namikaze Minato's innate affinity, no matter how skillful Danzo was, he couldn't find a reason to refute for a while. Gah, at this time, Nawaki had pushed open the front door of the intelligence department and strode in. No. Danzo let out a loud roar, and immediately prepared to perform ninjutsu. Namikaze Minato also saw many Konoha shinobi people around. He also showed his weapon in an instant, or made a seal. Stop it. Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen, the old friend behind him, let out a loud shout, abruptly stopping Danzo's not printing movement, and shouted with a cold face. Do you know what you are doing? Once you start, things will change essentially. Tsunade and Xuan Che can immediately betray Shimura Danzo for a crime of murdering a ninja from the same village. Throw him in jail. However, he was looking for an opportunity to die in prison. After being yelled at by Sarutobi Hiruzen, Danzo suddenly realized how serious he almost made a mistake. But see Nawaki walking into the intelligence building with batch after batch of Konoha shinobi. Advertisement. His face became more and more ugly, and on his livid face, large drops of sweat continued to fall along the wrinkles on his face. What are you afraid of? Danzo, although the Ministry of Information was where we used to conduct the first-generation cell experiment, it has already been suspended, hasn't it? There is no evidence left. When the others didn't notice, Sarutobi Hiruzen walked up to Danzo and whispered. Sarutobi Hiruzen naturally knows where this is. The human body experiment base where first Hokage cells were once performed is in the basement of the intelligence building. But as early as a few years ago, because of successive failures of successive experiments, there was also the accidental death of Uchiha Shisui. As a result, Sarutobi Hiruzen finally had to decide to suspend the plan, and even blamed Orochimaru for the crime. Eventually it led to Orochimaru's defection, but Sarutobi Hiruzen thinks he handled it well afterwards. The materials of the experiment and the remains of the experiment. After announcing the suspension of the plan, they were cleaned up perfectly. Even if Nawaki came to investigate, it was impossible to investigate anything. Does Danzo need to be so nervous? No fart, Danzo shouted inwardly. Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered the experiment to stop, but Shimura Danzo quietly summoned the previous researchers back after Sarutobi Hiruzen cleaned the scene. Once again sneakily started the transplantation experiment of Hashirama cells. And Uchiha Shisui is not dead at all, he lied to Sarutobi Hiruzen. People are now locked in the basement of the intelligence building. If this matter is known by Sarutobi Hiruzen, Danzo couldn't imagine it at all. Predecessor Hokage came to see it together. This is a big surprise. At this time, Nawaki was full of nasty voices from inside. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, and after thinking for 2 seconds, he followed in stride. Udadane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura followed closely, but it was too late for Danzo to stop. On the scroll given by brother-in-law, the mechanism should be here. Nawaki walked into the intelligence minister's office with a bunch of ninjas and fumbled for a while. He hugged a huge vase next to the desk with both hands, and rotated it clockwise and counterclockwise twice. Rumbling, after a loud noise, the wall at the back of the office spread out from the center to both sides, revealing a wide secret passage. Advertisement in this scene, Danzo was frightened at the back. He even knew how to open the secret room. Why? Who leaked it? Danzo quickly filtered the people who knew this passage in his mind. All those who know this secret have been planted by themselves, and it is impossible to divulge it. The only one who didn't plant this and knew the secret. At this moment, the face of a man who smiled like lion majesty appeared in Danzo's mind. Thinking of this, Danzo was furious and clenched his hands into fists. Danzo, what is this? Even 2 former senior consultants, including Sarutobi Hiruzen, were taken aback. When was this built? Why don't they know it all? Let's go, everyone, please come with the elders. Nawaki smiled and walked forward. In the medical cabin filled with liquid medicine, there are all kinds of human organs that make people get goosebumps all over, good promise. The other party is actually hiding the 3 of them, and is still conducting an experiment to study first-generation cells? More than half of them have changed. Countless huge wooden vines, which looked like wild pythons, began to sweep towards them. Many experimenters wearing white coats in the room were shocked to see so many Konoha shinobi visiting. Soon, everyone saw a scene that they will never forget. Immediately afterwards, the 3 of Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Danzo incredulously. Grab them all. Nawaki gave the order in a cold voice. This is wood style. It is impossible to see what the loaded object is. The ninjas of Ino Shikacho and other families looked at each other, then rushed to arrest all these experimenters. It can be estimated from the sound line that it is the shout of a child under 10 years old. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. The huge room full of medical instruments was full of the pungent smell of formalin. At this moment, a heart-piercing cry came from the deepest part of the laboratory, chapter 118. Ah! Bang! Accompanied by the piercing cry of pain, there was a crackling sound like glass or something. In the next second, a group of Konoha shinobi, headed by Nawaki, saw giant vines that looked like legs. It is sweeping towards this side with a density that can completely swallow up the huge laboratory. Wood style. The young and old ninjas were dumbfounded. And this scene made them realize what the research object of this strange atmosphere is. First Hokage Senju Hashirama is used to put an end to the chaos and help the superblood inheritance limit of 9 tails wood style. Who is it? Who is using wood style? Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted in disbelief. In previous experiments, some adapters have successfully used wood style. But it was immediately counterphaged by the cells and died. And even if the adapter relies on his life as the price, he reluctantly resorts to wood style. The highest level is not the level of C-level ninjutsu. And the wood style in front of him has the attack range of B-level ninjutsu. There is no doubt that this is a test product with a high degree of adaptation. The shocked expressions on the faces of Nawaki and Uchiha are even more exaggerated. When Nawaki shot, Senju Hashirama had passed away. He had only heard of wood style's toughness from his elders and sisters. And as long as anyone born in Uchiha, no one does not know the fierceness of wood style. Back then first Hokage Senju Hashirama relied on such a trick to beat the strongest Uchiha Madara of their clan at the time. Hurry up! Nawaki shouted, and cast a You're dead, look at Danzo. He secretly studied his grandfather's cells. In Nawaki's view, this is undoubtedly a blasphemy against his grandfather. And during this period, there is absolutely no shortage of innocent victims. If he doesn't catch Danzo to death by this incident, his last name will not be Senju. Fire-style Great Fireball technique. Several Uchiha ninjas spit out the Great Fireball from their mouths, trying to extinguish the rushing mudding. However, the flame failed to hinder Mu-Teng's advancement at all, and the momentum became more and more violent. Nani? Advertisement Uchiha Fugaku and others were taken aback. Fire is useless to wood. No, isn't just their flame power enough? Shadow clone technique. Namikaze Minato turned into golden light and rushed out, splitting into 2 shadow clone. 3 Namikaze Minato hands each condense a Rasengan. Triple Helix Lianwen. The 3 Namikaze Minato resisted Wood Style's advance with Rasengan in their hands. Ah! The young boy's cry of pain continued. Wood Style is also pouring out continuously. Namikaze Minato frowned, and it would be endless if this goes on. Judging from the sound, this Wood Style should have been made by a child. In other words, as long as the child is subdued, all this can be stopped. Thinking of this, Namikaze Minato turned his head and shouted at Naruto and the others. Everyone, please help resist, I will go in and subdue the operator. Danzo, who is the test subject using Wood Style. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen also realized the seriousness of the problem and asked Danzo coldly. However, when he turned his head to ask, he found that the place where Danzo stood just now was empty. Sarutobi Hiruzen was dumbfounded. This guy, at this time, actually ran away. Flying Thunder God. Boom. Just as Namikaze Minato was preparing to use Flying Thunder God technique to bypass the vines that were gushing crazily and go deep inside. A roar of flames descended like a flame god, passing everyone's heads in all directions. Immediately afterwards, it was like a tsunami of fire, burning the wood vines that rushed out into ashes in an instant. Everyone's brain did not respond, but the body was feeling the moment of high temperature. All subconsciously stepped back quickly. This flame like the sun is. Advertisement Namikaze Minato turned to look behind the flames. Brother-in-law, sister, Nawaki exclaimed in surprise. Xuan Che flicked the blade of Ryujin Jaka, took all Yang Yan back into his blade, glanced at the laboratory that had been burned to ashes, and commented. The fusion is better than I thought. With the hand just now, there is almost the top level of the future boy named Yamato. What can we achieve in the future? I'm afraid that there is at least Senju Hashirama's level, right? Of course, Xuan Che refers to the Dirty Land Hashirama during the Konoha collapse plan, not the Dirty Land Hashirama during the Fourth Ninja War. And Tsunade next to him threw Danzo on the ground like a dead dog, in a coma, with foam dripping in his horns, and said with disgust. When I came, I saw this old thing trying to escape, so I punched him and brought him. What did you eat? So many people could still make him run. Hug, sorry, sister, just. Nawaki was ashamed, mainly because he was shocked to see Grandpa's Wood Style. The cry of pain from the teenager came again. Xuan Che retracted Ryujin Jaka into the scabbard. Instantly disappeared in place. After about 10 seconds, the crying stopped. Hash plus hash equals. Point the bottom of Ryujin Jaka's knife handle to Chiguo and soak her upper body on Uchiha Shisui's forehead in the medical nutrition cabin. Zanpakuto itself had a soul-suppressing effect, and finally calmed the stinky boy. I haven't seen him for more than 2 years, and the little ghost of that year has grown a lot taller. Xuan Che lifted Shisui's trouser belt like a rascal and walked out. Recalling the situation just now, inner analysis said. There is no defective product like Danzo, which is backed by Wood Style, but it can be used normally, but it seems to be running away because the Hashirama cells in the body cannot be used freely. When I saw the Hashirama face in front of Shisui, the same style as Uchiha Madara and Danzo's right arm. The corners of Xuan Che's eyes twitched fiercely, which was too. Vomiting. This kid shouldn't be able to find a wife in the future, right? The premise is that if he does not commit suicide. Chapter 119. Shisui, who was held by Xuan Che, groaned in pain. Reluctantly opened his eyes, looked to the side, barely faintly said a few words. Yes, who? In the future, he would say a sentence clearly before he fell into a coma again. But even so, Xuan Che still saw the pair of 2 hooks jade in his pupils. When the inner feelings change from love to hate, will the awakened heart spirit betray a lie? Are you unconscious? I can only take it back and let Tsunade have a look. Thinking about this, Xuan Che carried the scabbard Shisui used and walked out. In this scene, I think Trafalgar Law is holding Tony Chopper's picture. In other words, as early as the years after Grandma Mito passed away, these people, led by the high-level people at the time, began to conduct research on Grandpa Hashirama, right? But 3 years ago, this plan should have been discontinued, but it is still going on. No matter where the living material used here comes from. Shimura Danzo has no dispute, and put down a felony that could kill him. Nawaki recounted Danzo's crimes and said to the ninjas of the Uchiha police force. Catch it and throw it in jail, find a chance to execute it another day. Uchiha's ninjas looked at each other, and finally took out the handcuffs and handcuffed Shimura Danzo who had passed out. Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura took a step forward, eager to say but stop. In other words, if you study Grandpa's cells privately, can these 3 also be caught? Before the 2 could speak, Nawaki pointed the finger at the remaining 3 of the elders. Senju Nawaki, this laboratory is for Konoha. The people who participated in the experiment were all willing to become the test subjects of Lord Hashirama's cells, so don't slander us. Udatane Kaharu and Midokado Homura were taken aback and retorted sharply in the next second. Nawaki frowned. Damn, those test subjects were already dead, and they couldn't be called back from the underworld to ask questions. Indeed, it is somewhat difficult to use this matter to kill the 4 members of the elders. Master Xuan Che, this is. At this time, Namikaze Minato let out an exclamation, attracting everyone's eyes. Immediately afterwards, everyone saw the naked upper body hung on Xuan Che's scabbard, and there was a young man with a weird face on the left side of the moon. That's Grandpa's. Tsunade saw another face in front of the boy Yu hung, suddenly recalled, and shouted out. Others, especially the Uchiha family and Sarutobi Hiruzen and others, were completely shocked by the faces of the teenagers. A person who deserved to die 3 years ago unexpectedly reappeared in front of him. Advertisement, yes, is it Shisui? Uchiha Fugaku asked with a trembling voice. Enrolled at the age of 5 and graduated at the age of 5. Uchiha is a genius finally born after more than 10 years. Third Hokage claimed that he died in the mission, why now? At this moment, all Uchiha looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with bad eyes. Headed by Uchiha Fugaku asked unceremoniously, Lord Third Generation, I think you should give us an explanation. You said that Shisui died in a mission accident, but now, we found him in such a place. If Sarutobi Hiruzen is still in Hokage, Uchiha Fugaku may have to be afraid. However, now Sarutobi Hiruzen is not sitting in the Hokage position. Now Hitaki Xuan Che, Senju Tsunade, who controls the overall situation of the village, would like you to die early. Naturally, Uchiha Fugaku cannot be polite. This matter, is Danzo's sole responsibility. After the old man asks him about the results, he will give Uchiha an explanation. Sarutobi Hiruzen gritted his teeth, damn it is crazy too. Danzo's answer to himself at the time was that Uchiha Shisui died in an experiment with Hashirama cells. But now I see living people in the laboratory. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udatane Kaharu and Midokado Homura are also completely stupid. Huh, don't bother your ex-Hokage, when Shisui wakes up, after we ask, everything will come to light. Uchiha Fugaku snorted coldly. Immediately, Uchiha Fugaku said to Xuan Che. Master Xuan Che, Shisui is left to us Uchiha. You were afraid that if you can't suppress the runaway of Hashirama cells in this kid, you should leave it to Tsunade to deal with it. Zero fine flowers Xuan Che waved and shouted. Okay, Uchiha Shisui is sent to Konoha Hospital, Shimura Danzo is put in prison, and everyone else is assigned to their duties. After the excitement, everyone will go back to work for me. Xuan Che spoke in person, even if others had any comments, they didn't dare to mention it anymore, so they had to retreat and withdraw. However, this incident will surely cause a wave of monstrous changes in Konoha's entire ninja circle. Uchiha Shisui is not dead. Advertisement. This news, like a blockbuster bomb, was thrown into the lake that Konoha had finally calmed down. Once again set off the stormy sea, neither Tsunade nor Xuan Che controlled speech. Let this matter spread among countless ninjas. The secret research of first Hokage cells, the genius of the Uchiha family has become a test subject. The second in command of Konoha was imprisoned. A series of appalling news made many Konoha ninjas listen to the horror. Calculating carefully, Uchiha Shisui was when he was under 6 years old. I was arrested and used as a test subject for the cell, right? Too frightening. Shimura Danzo, is this still a human? Beast? At this moment, in Konoha prison? Lord Third Generation, why are you here? Namikaze Minato, who was in charge of personally guarding Shimura Danzo, was surprised when he saw the figure walking in front of him. Minato, can you let me talk to my old friend? Sarutobi Hiruzen said solemnly. This, Namikaze Minato looked embarrassed. Minato, the old man thinks he is good to you, and her flying thunder god was given to you by the old man. Sarutobi Hiruzen started playing emotional cards, and Namikaze Minato took this set. Okay, but please hurry up. Namikaze Minato scratched his head helplessly, and quickly stepped back. Before leaving, he exhorted. It must be as soon as possible. Wait until there are only these 2 old friends who are in love and kill each other nearby. Sarutobi Hiruzen gritted his teeth and said to Danzo. Danzo, you even lied to me. Chapter 120 No wonder Sarutobi Hiruzen behaves so angry. Because he heard that Uchiha Shisui died in the experiment with Hashirama cells, he was afraid of unrest among the Uchiha clan. That's why the black pot was thrown to Orochimaru. This also led to Orochimaru's revenge, and took his only heir. Sarutobi Asuma. Calculate this series of cause and effect. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen decide. If it were not for Shimura Danzo, his youngest son would not have been captured by Orochimaru. To each other, Hiruzen. Danzo in the cell glanced diagonally at Sarutobi Hiruzen, and said coldly. I have also helped you with a lot of things over the years, don't you think I should leave a way out? If you have anything you can rush to me, Asuma is innocent, 927 inches. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared. The capture of Asuma was the last straw that crushed him. If it's something else, Sarutobi Hiruzen will try his best to rescue Danzo from prison. But the thought of Danzo's lie to him indirectly prompted Orochimaru to capture Asuma. It would be difficult for him to forgive each other. Casting a glance at the other person with irony, Danzo said without regret. Innocent. Stop making trouble, Hiruzen. In order to make you secure the position of third generation, are there fewer innocents we secretly dealt with? You are only so excited because you have lost your son? In Danzo's view, Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't care about other victims, whether it is the subjects who died in the first Hokage cell experiment, or innocent people who have fallen victim to political struggles. The reason why he was so outraged, it's just because the only son was involved. When your own interests are not touched, you are willing to be blinded by the hypocritical world. According to the old man's original plan, I could surpass you, Tsunade-ji, and the kid Hitaki Xuan Che, get the strongest power and become the changer of this ninja world. Danzo's eyes flashed feverishly, and halfway through gritted his teeth, he suddenly clenched his fists in anger and said with resentment. Unfortunately, the old man missed a trick in the end, the guy Orochimaru. If the person Danzo hates most now is not Xuan Che, nor Sarutobi Hiruzen, but Orochimaru. According to Danzo's previous thoughts, he now has first Hokage Hashirama cells. If you add Shisui's Sharingan, it is equivalent to possessing Senju and Uchiha, two of the strongest powers in the ninja world. Advertisement after that, just get the 9 tails inside Uzumaki Kushina. Then even the power of the strongest tail beast will belong to him. I will be the revolutionary who dominates the world of ninja, surpassing Mr. Tobirama. No, even Senju Hashirama, first generation. However, all of this was ruined by the informant Orochimaru. And when Xuan Che heard about Danzo's idea from Orochimaru, his mouth was almost crooked with a smile. Dominate the ninja world? Just rely on your material, Orochimaru. What happened to Orochimaru? Hearing this name, Sarutobi Hiruzen stepped forward excitedly, clasping his hands on the iron pillars of the cell, and shouting to Danzo inside. Have you been in touch with Orochimaru? Tell me, Danzo, how is Asuma now? Ah, Danzo didn't answer right away, just raised his horns slightly and let out a sneer. Tuan. Hidden, Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted with blood-red eyes. Lord Third Generation, it's time. At this time, Namikaze Minato's voice came from afar. Please leave immediately, otherwise I won't be able to deal with it. Even though Sarutobi Hiruzen is unwilling, he knows that he can't stay any longer now. The people of Hitaki Xuan Che kept staring at themselves, trying to throw themselves, Kaharu and Homura, like Danzo, into the prison. Xuan Che, sir, and Tsunade-sama, in a separate ward of Konoha Hospital. Uchiha Shisui, who was full of needles and wearing a ventilator, woke up from his drowsiness. After seeing the two figures in front of him, he subconsciously called. Finally suppressed Wood Styles runaway, you really have zero. Tsunade turned to Xuan Che and said, Zanpakuto itself has the effect of calming souls. It should be said that this kid is lucky. Although the Hashirama cells in his body ran away, it did not eat back his body. After Xuan Che said this sentence, he added another sentence in his heart. After all, Senju Uchiha is a family. This, a doctor, a hospital? Advertisement Shisui said with difficulty. Although I would like to hear you talk about what happened after graduating from the ninja school, it seems that it is not the time now. Xuan Che said, turned around and walked out of the door while saying. Get a good rest first, a lot of things have happened to the outside world in the past 3 years. Wait for Xuan Che and Tsunade to leave. Uchiha Shisui, who was less than 10 years old, looked up at the white ceiling of the ward and couldn't help but shed tears. Is happy. Is the time like hell finally over, Shisui? About half an hour later, someone walked into the ward again. Shisui reluctantly looked sideways, stunned. Patriarch Fugaku. Those who came were Uchiha Fugaku, the patriarch of the Uchiha family, and Uchiha Mikoto, the wife of the patriarch. In Uchiha Mikoto's arms, he held a curious face and kept looking up and down his child. In the highest meeting room of the administrative building, the fourth Hokage Tsunade Haim, as well as the patriarchs of the major ninja tribes, have gathered here. Standing next to Tsunade, Senju Nawaki, as an assistant, put forward the topic of this council. What to do with Shimura Danzo? Excuse me, Master Xuan Che didn't come. Nara Lu glanced around for a long time, then raised her hand and asked. Brother-in-law said that he could directly send someone to jail, kill him, and then declare that he died of illness. Nawaki said calmly. The patriarchs of the ninja clan who were present were terrified by this sentence. This is too cruel, right? But think about what Danzo did to Uchiha Shisui. It feels as if it's not so cruel. Shimura Danzo is called Sorrowful Heavenly Conscience. Chapter 121. While Konoha discusses Shimura Danzo's disposal in the executive meeting room. On the other side, in the residence of the patriarch of the Sarutobi clan. The 3 members of the former F4 elders group are also discussing this matter in full swing. Hiruzen, although Danzo does have a problem with this matter, you shouldn't just sit back and watch because of the friendship between the 4 of us for nearly half a century. Yes, not to mention, if Tsunade and the others plan to execute Danzo publicly, then Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura continued to persuade Sarutobi Hiruzen. Their views are also the same. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen, the former Hokage, persuade Tsunade to let Danzo make a living. Of course, wanting to be acquitted is a pipe dream. Hope to fight for at least 1 life imprisonment. It's not just because of the friendship between the 4 people for decades. It's also because Danzo and them have done too many damages together. If, on the day of the public execution, he would say everything that the 4 had done over the years. Well, the Hitaki Xuan Che gang can definitely serve the 4 of them in one pot. And Sarutobi Hiruzen, originally because of Danzo's deception, which led to Asuma's capture. Planning to ignore Danzo's life and death. In the original book, Senju is gone, White Fang is dead, and Uchiha is gone. He did not forgive, but only his son was gone, he could not bear it. But when Mitokado Homura mentioned that if Danzo was publicly executed, then the three of his own might also be affected by this topic, his eyelids trembled fiercely. The two caught the strange expression of Sarutobi Hiruzen at this moment, and after a glance at each other, they hurriedly persuaded. Hiruzen, even if you don't think of us or yourself, you should think of the whole Sarutobi family, right? Yes, without your protection, the Sarutobi clan, do you think it is possible to end up like the Senju clan, or even worse? As soon as this word came out, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't sit still gradually. Advertisement the son is gone and let alone, if even the whole family is gone. This is absolutely unbearable for him. He took pains to lead Sarutobi from a small clan that was not at the middle or lower level during the Sengoku period to the most powerful clan in Konoha. If he ends up worse than Senju, he will definitely not be reconciled. It's useless to find Tsunade. After thinking for a long time, Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and said, if you want to save Danzo's life, you can only go find that man. As soon as these words came out, the other two members of the elders group changed their expressions drastically. A white-haired figure suddenly appeared in his mind. Find him? Is it too dangerous? And Sarutobi Hiruzen knew very well in his heart that only that man had the power to change Tsunade and even the entire Konoha high level. Senju clan land, the residence of Xuan Che. The Changan trio is shrinking on the other side of the vegetable garden, using their talent for listening to the corner that they have cultivated on the battlefield. The three small heads are like stacks of arhats, hanging up and down together, quietly watching Xuan Che sitting opposite each other in the distance and the three who once held the highest authority of Konoha. Staring at me in a half-dead mood to see me just to say this? A mocking smile appeared on Xuan Che's face. He didn't expect Sarutobi Hiruzen to come to see himself for the first time in his life. It's actually to intercede Shimura Danzo. Xuan Che, the old man knows that you want to kill Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen relies on cage-level courage and courage, unlike the two behind him, both feet are shaking. But the hands clenched into fists on his knees still exposed his true heart at the moment. Advertisement. But, after all, he is like a tree root buried under a towering tree, in the dark that no one knows, silently guarding Konoha for 30 years, so. Stop. Before Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking, Xuan Che looked disgusted and raised his hand to stop the other party from continuing. Whether he is guarding Konoha or the talent who is always happy to destroy Konoha, I am not interested in that. But the reason why you came to help him intercede is not only because of the friendship between him and you, but also because of another important reason. He stabbed Lucy with the messy things you have done over the years, right? The eyes of the three Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly shrank. I didn't like to engage in your politician style, so let's just say it. Xuan Che rubbed the head of the husky dog next to him twice, resting his cheek with one hand and said. As you said, I really want to kill him, don't talk about him, in fact, you three, I really want to kill him. Big beads of sweat continued to fall from the heads of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udatane Kaharu, and Mitokado Homura. Even though they were mentally prepared in their hearts, they never expected that Xuan Che would be able to say so without any worries. Now I just ran into your house in the middle of the night, stabbed you to death, and then left without anyone knowing it. The next day it was a trivial matter to announce that the three of you were killed collectively, but I was too lazy to be so lazy. Done. The more Xuan Che continued, the more ugly the three people's faces became. Then, why not do this? At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't maintain the calmness just now, and his tone trembled slightly. Various reasons, but mainly because of two simple things, instead of losing interest. Before achieving cage-level strength, Xuan Che moved away from Konoha, except for being disgusted by Konoha's dark political struggle at the time. There is indeed a reason to avoid F4 Konoha elders for the time being. But now, these people are like four little loaches in their hands, and they can pinch to death at any time. Xuan Che was not so anxious to pinch them to death. After all, in Xuan Che's view, it is completely impossible for this group of goods to cause any more waves. One of the reasons for not being too lazy to participate in today's assembly on Shimura Danzo's execution method. But there is another important reason, that is, Xuan Che wants to see how Orochimaru will repay his teacher. It should be fun, isn't it? Chapter 122 Xuan Che said something. The three Sarutobi Hiruzen on the opposite side fell into a deadly silence. Sarutobi Hiruzen had always thought that Xuan Che wanted to grab their handle, so he treated them like Danzo now and threw them into jail. So since the position of Hokage was taken, he has maintained a cautious state. Unexpectedly, Xuan Che's idea was completely different. In his eyes, wanting to kill himself is just something that can be done at any time? Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to ask the sentence, then why not kill it now? But after all, he still didn't have the courage to say this sentence. Brother-in-law, the old man Shimura Danzo's method of punishment has been down, in, At the door, Nawaki suddenly walked into the courtyard. When he saw the three members of the elders group sitting opposite Xuan Che, his eyebrows twisted fiercely, and he deliberately said. Before this, I also want to arrange an interrogation, so as to know what good things he has done without our knowledge. Maybe I can pick out some rubbish like him. Nawaki's words were clearly addressed to the three of Sarutobi Hiruzen. He wanted to take this matter to get rid of the 4 people who have been in the highest power of Konoha for 30 years. Excuse me today, then we will leave first. Sarutobi Hiruzen got up from the stone chair and turned away with the 2 old buddies. Tisk. I feel sick when I see their old face. Nawaki muttered disgustedly and didn't care whether the 3 people who had just passed by his shoulders could hear his own voice. Brother-in-law, those old guys will come to you, it must be unkind. Nawaki sat down on the opposite side of Xuan Che. It's weird that they can have any kindness to me. I don't need a few old things with Lois to have a good impression on me. Xuan Che smiled and said, has the method of execution of Danzo been decided? Mentioning this topic, Nawaki nodded excitedly and said with excitement. Well, it has been decided to conduct a public trial in the square, and let the Uchiha family use Sharingan to control him. Then, after the old Sarutobi took office, all the shameful things that their group had done, at that time. Let alone Danzo, the 3 of them will have to go to jail together. Having said that, Nawaki's hands clenched and his fists began to tremble from overexcitement and then said. Advertisement, not only to kill the old guy, but also to ruin him and pay for the evil results he planted before. Xuan Che pointed his finger on the top of the stone table. If Nawaki's plan is feasible, the best outcome for Sarutobi Hiruzen is social death. Orochimaru's plan might be ruined in advance, this is a pity. In Konoha prison, Master 3rd generation, you repeatedly come to visit the prison without the consent of Master 4th generation like this. I will be embarrassed. Namikaze Minato, who personally guards Shimura Danzo, smiled bitterly at Sarutobi Hiruzen who came for the 2nd time. As a Konoha shinobi, he deserves to be loyal to Tsunade as the current Hokage. But Sarutobi Hiruzen, after all, has great favor for himself, who was born as a commoner. He is also really not good at showing the other side's face. I know that Danzo's execution date has been decided, and I only hope that I can have a heart-to-heart talk with my close friend at the end. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a sad expression. The old man's son, Asuma, the old man didn't talk to him for the last time. This time his best friend is about to leave. The old man doesn't want to leave any regrets. Yes, it's time to play the emotional card again, but Asuma is a member of the Minato class. Namikaze Minato has always been guilty of Sarutobi Hiruzen for failing to protect Asuma and causing the students to be kidnapped by Orochimaru. Hearing what Sarutobi Hiruzen said, it started to waver again. Namikaze Minato's face was tangled. Minato, I promise, this is the last time, please. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a heart and soul. After struggling for a long time, Namikaze Minato gritted his teeth and nodded. Okay, but please promise me, this is the last time. Danzo's execution day is approaching. I just want to go back and it's impossible. Don't worry, Minato. Advertisement with Sarutobi Hiruzen's repeated assurances, Namikaze Minato reluctantly relented and retreated to the door of his cell. When only Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo were left facing each other in the cell again. Shimura Danzo sneered again. The last time you talked, you're still as articulate as you are, Hiruzen. Backquote. Is afraid that I will announce what you have done in the past 30 years before you die. Besides, I really can't think of any reason why you took such a big risk to come and see me, a dying person. To say that the person who knows Sarutobi Hiruzen best in the world. Not his father, not his son, nor his wife, it's the man at the other end of Taizu. Shimura Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned tightly and said again. Without any exaggeration, with your mental strength, it is impossible to resist. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked directly into the opponent's eyes and said with earnestness. Conversely, Sarutobi Hiruzen's knowledge of Shimura Danzo is the same. Danzo coldly said. As soon as Sarutobi Hiruzen slapped his skin, Shimura Danzo knew what fart he was going to put on. There are your people, your family, don't you? Danzo. You ethnic group, I raise it, don't worry about it. If Nawaki's plan succeeds, not only the 4 of us, but the ethnic groups behind us, Sarutobi and Shimura, will also be affected and end up with the current Senju, no, even worse than Senju. Danzo had obviously begun to growl impatiently. What do you want to say in the end? What do you want me to do? Hiruzen, on Judgment Day, Senju Nawaki decided to let Uchiha use Sharingan to control you, and announce to the world what we have done for so many years. After a short silence, Sarutobi Hiruzen still did not answer Shimura Danzo's question directly. After a long circle, he said. Help me one last time, Danzo, this way, good for you and me. Chapter 123. The last succinct sentence is enough to make Danzo realize what Sarutobi Hiruzen means. At this moment, his face was extremely gloomy, and he said coldly. Until this last moment, will you still let me bear it for you, Hiruzen? Although Shimura Danzo is regarded as the king of pot. But he himself is not masochistic, and he likes to take the blame. On the contrary, he always hopes that one day he can become Hokage, become the one who surpasses first Hokage Senju Hashirama and rules the world of ninja. While in prison, he kept expecting Sarutobi Hiruzen to find a way to get him out of here. Unexpectedly, at the end, not only did the other party have no plans to save himself, but on the contrary, he was also ready to let himself go. This is the best solution, Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen said with heart and soul. It is absolutely impossible for you to leave here alive, Danzo. In that case, why can't you make the final sacrifice so that at least the 2 big clans of Sarutobi and Shimura can be protected? There are also your descendants in this. If it weren't for the 2 sides still separated by Taizu. Danzo really wanted to blow the B*************** D with a vacuum wave. Protect Sarutobi and Shimura? Don't you just say to protect you? Facing Danzo's thunderous eyes, Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression remained calm and said calmly. I promise that after you leave, your name will be inscribed on the memorial tablet as a member of Konoha Heroes. All I have to say is this, I believe you will make the right decision, dear friend. Leaving one last word, Sarutobi Hiruzen turned and left. Best friend? Shimura Danzo sneered. At this time, can you still say these two words, don't you feel sick, Hiruzen? Danzo knows that Sarutobi Hiruzen means very clear. Just let yourself die. Of course, it was not executed after a formal public trial. Instead, let yourself be in this cell and find a chance to commit suicide. In order to keep the secret forever. In this way, it becomes a dead end with no evidence. No matter how unwilling Senju Nawaki is, advertisement. He can't take Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udotane Kaharu, and Mitokado Homura. Good abacus. In terms of political means, I will never compare to you, Hiruzen. Trouble you again this time, Minato. When leaving, Sarutobi Hiruzen Minato bowed his head slightly to show his gratitude. Nothing, Lord Third Generation, as long as you promise that this is the last time. While saying this, Namikaze Minato quietly glanced inside the prison door and found that Shimura Danzo was still locked inside. This was a long sigh of relief in my heart. Sarutobi Hiruzen leaves and Namikaze Minato returns to his post again. But for some reason, I always feel that Danzo's aura exuding after meeting Sarutobi Hiruzen is a bit wrong. But after careful perception, Namikaze Minato found that Danzo's vital signs were still there and his breath was not disturbed. I didn't care about it anymore. Maybe it's something strange caused by the dying person at the last moment of life, right? Hurry up and finish this work and finish the wedding with Kushina. Namikaze Minato thought with expectation in his heart. When Sarutobi Hiruzen walked out of the prison's main entrance, Udotane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura, who had been waiting at the door for a long time, hurriedly greeted them and asked. Hiruzen, how is it? Did Danzo agree? Sarutobi Hiruzen lit his pipe and exhaled a puff of smoke. He didn't promise me the first time, but I believe he will make the right choice. After all, he has no other choice. It is not unreasonable that Sarutobi Hiruzen would be so confident. Indeed, as he said, Danzo has no extra options, only humiliation and death awaited him. It is impossible for him to get out of this prison alive. Rather than go to that world with all the humiliation and pain as a sinner. Follow your own opinions, protect your own people, guard the secrets of the four of them, and go to that world without pain as the hero of Konoha. Obviously better, even if the road to the end is death. Udotane Kaharu sighed, although I am a little sorry Danzo, but it can only be so. Mitokado Homura also said sadly, advertisement, from now on his Memorial Day, let's go and put some incense sticks for him. Good guy, I started discussing the topic of Shangshong before he died. Should you say that you really deserve to be a politician? Don't look at these four people seem to maintain an indestructible non-friendship. But in the final analysis, it's just because they are a community of interests. When it comes to this life-threatening moment, is it not the same as the catastrophe is imminent? In the prison, I recalled the black pan that I had carried Sarutobi Hiruzen over the years, and just now, near the end of his life, he wanted to help him get caught for the last time. It finally became the last straw that overwhelmed Danzo's intellectual nerves. Why? Just because I answered a few seconds later than you, are you more qualified to be a Hokage than me? You are the leaves bathed in the sun, and I am the root hidden in the earth. Even at the end of my life, can't I escape my final destiny? Why? Do not, I'm not convinced. On what basis, what basis? Thinking of this, Danzo finally fell into madness and even collapsed. Looking outside Namikaze Minato's back, Danzo spoke coldly. I want to see Hitachi Xuan Che. Namikaze Minato turned his head abruptly and looked over, with a stunned expression that he thought he was hearing hallucinations. I want to see Hitachi Xuan Che, Danzo said in a heavy tone. I'm sorry, Danzo. Mr. Danzo, you don't have the right to appoint a visitor, and I don't think Master Xuan Che can come to see you. Confirming that he has no auditory hallucinations, Namikaze Minato still shook his head and refused. I thought this jailer's job was too exciting, right? It's better to return to a regular post earlier so that your wife and children will be hot on the bed. Go and tell him, I have a condition he can't refuse to tell him. Danzo spoke 3 times, with Namikaze Minato's attitude of not giving up unless he agreed. Chapter 124. There are only 24 hours left until the public trial day of Shimura Danzo's trial. And 30 hours have passed since Sarutobi Hiruzen visited the prison before. Namikaze Minato, who was in charge of the guard, had 2 big dark circles on his face at the moment. What I didn't know was that Kushina was too powerful and made him false. In fact, since the previous visit by Sarutobi Hiruzen to the present, Shimura Danzo has been asking Namikaze Minato outside the prison gate. He wants to see Hitachi Xuan Che. At first, Namikaze Minato naturally would not agree. He is only soft-eared, not an idiot. If you really have to bother Xuan Che because of this kind of thing, it's strange that the other party doesn't beat him to death. But from Sarutobi Hiruzen left to now, 30 hours. Shimura Danzo said this the number of times, not less than 60 to 0 times. Yes, 20 times per hour. This is equivalent to talking every 3 minutes on average. Namikaze Minato does not have the ability to seal hearing. Even if he did not dare to use it as a guard for Shimura Danzo. As a result, Danzo kept buzzing in his ears like a fly. So Namikaze Minato just felt his brain tremble again. If he spends another 24 hours like this, he feels that he is not far from madness. At the same time, Namikaze Minato himself was a little curious. Shimura Danzo took the trouble to ask to meet Xuan Che. Could it be true that there is still something big? Thinking of this, Namikaze Minato gritted his teeth and split into a shadow clone to leave the prison quickly. Xuan Che is accustomed to his red upper body when he is in the state of cultivation, dripping sweat constantly. Just after finishing his basic training, Xuan Che is about to communicate with Ryujin Jaka. After hearing Namikaze Minato's report, his eyebrows were raised, and his tone of voice was a bit puzzled. See me? Yes. The shadow clone split from Namikaze Minato Kaido. From yesterday to now, he said hundreds of times, maybe. What's the special situation? Xuan Che's eyes are slightly imaginary. To be honest, he didn't think Danzo, who would do anything besides carrying the pot, could bring himself any surprises at this time. But after listening to Namikaze Minato, the other party seemed unusually persistent. Isn't it just to beg yourself to let him go? Advertisement? Thinking of this, Xuan Che couldn't help but smile. If this is the case, it can only mean that Danzo is stupider than he thought. It's fine, it doesn't hurt to go and see, he won't live for 24 hours anyway. Xuan Che tidied up and shouted, Lin, bring me a towel. A few seconds later, two big loli blushing. One came with a towel and the other with a basin. There is also a tea tray behind. The Changan trio, come to see you. Wow, Mr. Hitaki really enjoyed it, Namikaze Minato murmured inwardly. If you have the courage, Kushina will kill herself, right? By the way, which one of Tsunade-sama or Kushina is more terrifying? In the single-person cell at the deepest part of Konoha prison, Danzo looked at the three girls behind Xuan Che as his attendants with a frown between Taizu. If you have a fart, let it go. Xuan Che was slightly impatient. I stopped my cultivation and came to see you, a wrinkled old immortal, if I couldn't tell why. Eunuch you just before tomorrow's judgment day. Believe it or not. Although I was dissatisfied with Xuan Che's behavior of bringing three little girls to see me, he was obviously expressing his contempt for himself. But Danzo knew better that he was not qualified to bargain with the other party, so he could only start straight to the point. I hope you can let me out. Puff, hearing this, Xuan Che almost couldn't hold back a spit. Co-author Danzo is really stupid than I thought. No wonder that in the original book, Konoha will become that virtue under the leadership of him and Sarutobi Hiruzen. Xuan Che showed an expression of not being able to recycle garbage and immediately prepared to leave. But Danzo's next sentence made Xuan Che stop his pace. I don't want to run away, but I want to have a break with Hiruzen. Huh? A hint of interest rose in Xuan Che's eyes. Advertisement the Changan trio also shines. Can you hear any secrets again? Just the day before yesterday, Hiruzen came to see me. Zero fine flowers Danzo said again. Old man Sarutobi saw you? I remember that no one is allowed to visit the prison, right? With that, Xuan Che turned his eyes to Namikaze Minato, who was in charge of guarding. Namikaze Minato grunted and swallowed, and his back became cold. I'll clean up you later, Xuan Che said lightly. So scared, Namikaze Minato got goose bumps all over her body. He wants the old man to commit suicide in prison to keep a secret of the ulterior things he has done to secure Hokage's position over the years. Danzo continued. As soon as this remark came out, everyone present was stunned. Although after following Xuan Che, they already knew that third Hokage was not the always kind grandfather they had remembered. Zero, but I am forcing people to commit suicide. Lin Nohara and the others would never have thought that Sarutobi Hiruzen could do it. Xuan Che also showed a bit of surprise. Forcing people to commit suicide, he believed that Sarutobi Hiruzen did it. Isn't the idiot brother Hitaki Tsukumo the best example? But Xuan Che did not expect that the old man could force Danzo to commit suicide to keep a secret. It seems that he wants you to play your role as the king of the pot until the end. The astonishment on Xuan Che's face immediately turned into a thick mocking smile. What then? Are you planning to commit suicide? Compared to sealing a bridge in the original work, he uses his only strengths to travel to another world as the king of pots. It feels more suitable for Danzo. Of course it's impossible. The old man did his best for Sarutobi Hiruzen, and I will take care of all the shameful things. However, instead of showing any gratitude, he fell into trouble when the old man needed help the most. Shimura Danzo shouted hoarsely. He is a leaf bathed in sunlight, and I am a root buried in the ground. Why? Why do you tell me? The three big loli that Danzo roared, even Namikaze Minato was a little bit startled. The anger from the heart is unlikely to be pretended. The depth of love, the depth of hate. It is probably Shimura Danzo's feelings for Sarutobi Hiruzen, son. Chapter 125. The atmosphere went into silence for a short time. Xuan Che suddenly spoke, turning his back to Namikaze Minato and said, Minato, Mr. Danzo will be guarded by you. If you let him escape, I will be in front of you, betroth Kushina to someone else, and then leave the child to you to raise. Namikaze Minato in the back sucked in the air. Isn't this too cruel? Danzo in prison didn't even see how Xuan Che made the knife. I saw an afterglow flashing in front of me. When he came to consciousness, the cage in front of him had been divided into two. I look forward to your performance, Mr. Danzo. Traveling through this world for more than 30 years, Xuan Che honored Danzo's name for the first time. Because it is so interesting. Yes, every once in a while, there are several pairs of friends who love and kill each other. Isn't it Konoha's 9th and 30th beautiful tradition? This is true for Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama. This is true for Uchiha Obito and Hitaki Kakashi. The same goes for Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto. Then how can we miss the old friends Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo? Danzo was dark and walked out of the prison without a word. What are you doing in a daze? Hearing Xuan Che's reminder, Minato shivered suddenly. Quickly follow behind Danzo. If Xuan Che really asks Kushina to marry someone else, and then raise the child she gave birth to. Thinking about that scene made him shudder. I, Namikaze Minato, don't want to be a green turtle. Since Konoha, I feel that my worldview is being reshaped every day. Terumi Mei was full of emotion. Xuan Che led the Changan trio out of the prison slowly, smiling. Since Sarutobi Hiruzen was promoted to the position of 3rd generation 30 years ago, Danzo has done so many shameful things for him in secret, but he is not a saint. On the contrary, it is a person who must repay him. As the years accumulate, his hatred of Sarutobi Hiruzen has become stronger and stronger. All that is missing is the last straw. Speaking of this, the smile on Xuan Che's face is even brighter, and the Sarutobi Hiruzen 3 did not save him, but asked him to play a last role before death, and finally became the last straw to crush the camel. The 3 elders, lowly, seemed to understand but didn't understand, but they thought it was amazing. Xuan Che again ordered, "Go and inform Konoha's patriarchs of the ninja clan, no matter what wind you hear tonight, you don't need to worry." Advertisement. In Hokage's office. "Ah, I'm so annoyed with my old lady. Files are in my eyes all day long. My old lady quits." Among the mountains of documents, Tsunade finally broke out, roaring like a female Tyrannosaurus. "Especially when I was looking in the mirror just now, I found crow's feet lines appeared in the corners of my eyes." Make Tsunade blow up on the spot. "Sister, please calm down, and after tomorrow's public trial of Danzo's old man, you can have a holiday." Nawaki persuaded with a wry smile. Dong, 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 there was a knock on the door. Nawaki turned his head and said, "Please come in." The iconic cupola of the Nara clan is Naraluji. "Master Hokage, we received an order from Master Xuan Che just now." Naraluji reports. "No matter what happens to our races tonight, not to be afraid of orders." With that, Naraluju scratched his head. Even with his mind, he couldn't fully understand the meaning of Xuan Che's words. Sister Senju frowned. Tsunade whispered, "What the hell is going on?" For some reason, the moon tonight is particularly beautiful. Even if you sit on the corridor without lighting, you can clearly see the prosperity of Konoha village under the moonlight. Tomorrow is Danzo's public trial day. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udadan Ekaharu, and Midokado Homura could not sleep. So simply gathered together like this for a long time, quietly waiting for the arrival of tomorrow. But instead of waiting for tomorrow, it is better to wait for the news of Danzo's death. As long as news of Danzo's suicide came, they would have nothing to worry about. "Hiruzen, with Danzo's character, you said he would really suicide?" In the past 2 days, Midokado Homura has asked Sarutobi Hiruzen this question with a worried expression on his face. And Sarutobi Hiruzen did not know how many times he answered calmly. Advertisement. "Don't worry, Homura, I know Danzo, he has no other choice." Sarutobi Hiruzen took a sip of the hot tea made by his wife, Lake Biwa, and said calmly, "I know Danzo." After hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's repeated assurances, Udadan Ekaharu and Midokado Homura also felt a little relieved. "Alas, Danzo, I'm sorry, it's not that we don't want to save you, it's because he has left too much handle. At least after you die, we will engrave your name on a memorial tablet for future generations to remember. I am the leaf bathed in the sun, he is the root hidden in the ground. Because of his dedication, Konoha has been created." Sarutobi Hiruzen emptied his eyes and said, "Now, it's his last consecration as the root." During the Third Ninja War, the relationship between the two had reached a freezing point. But why hasn't I been held accountable for Danzo's various transgressive behaviors? The first, of course, is because of Xuan Che and Tsunade's gaze. Secondly, Danzo, the pot king, is so easy to use, any shit bowl can be buckled on his head. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't bear to throw it. "Lake Biwa, let's make some tea." Sarutobi Hiruzen, who picked up the teapot and poured tea, found that the teapot was empty, and turned to shout in the direction of the kitchen. However, after several seconds, there was no response. "Lake Biwa, Lake Biwa." Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned slightly, and shouted several times. No response was received. "Is it asleep?" Midokado Homura guessed. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned tightly, an increasingly ominous premonition welled up in his heart. "Get up and prepare to find a wife," however, it is no longer needed. A black shadow came from the corner in the direction of the kitchen and was reflected in front of the 3 of them. The picture greeted the eyes, making Sarutobi Hiruzen 3 people on the verge of lightning strikes. "Danzo?" Udadan Ekaharu shuddered. Soon after, they saw another scene that made them even more terrifying. Danzo, with the wind-style chakra blade condensed in his right hand, and a bloody head in his left hand, is the head of Sarutobi Hiruzen's wife, Sarutobi Lake Biwa. Chapter 126. Sarutobi Hiruzen froze in place. He is also a person who has been on the battlefield, and the corpse in a different part of his body has long been seen many times. But the corpse of the enemy or outsider, and the corpse of the close relatives appear in front of you, it feels completely different. Especially this person is the one who sleeps with himself every night. Just now, Sarutobi Hiruzen staggered 2 steps, and fell heavily to the ground. Danzo, how did you get out of prison? Danzo, why did you give Lake Biwa to? Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura were equally scared and pale. But it's not as exaggerated as Sarutobi Hiruzen, the 3 of them haven't noticed yet. Outside the walls of the mansion, the roof of another house in the Sarutobi tribe. Several figures are sitting side by side at the top, as if watching a movie, looking directly at the emotional dispute. Oh is worthy of being a brother-in-law, this is much more interesting than a public trial. Nawaki was so excited that she barked like a female cat with a stink. When 2 dogs bit you, what is the best way to relieve your breath? Oh 9 definitely not beat them to death with a stick. But watching them bite the dog, hey, the same bad taste. Tsunade curled his lips, but the excitement in his eyes couldn't be concealed. How can I thank me? Can I go down the road? Xuan Che smiled strangely in Tsunade's ear. Roll. Tsunade cursed with a flushed face. This B***************** D is getting more and more perverted. Nawaki was overexcited and kept focusing on the relationship between Danzo and Sarutobi Hiruzen who were far away. I didn't even notice the conversation between Xuan Che and his old sister. But the Changan trio on the other side of Xuan Che had all these words about tigers and wolves in their ears. Advertisement backpath? Difficult, could it be that, there? The 3 big loli looked at each other, my god, are they so powerful? Danzo. You, why did you do this? At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen has stood up from the ground again. The original panic on his face also turned into anger, and he yelled at Danzo with a red neck. 2 sons, one is dead and the whereabouts are unknown. His wife Sarutobi Lake Biwa naturally became his last spiritual pillar. But now, his wife died in front of him in a different place. And he died from the hands of his own best friend. Hiruzen, you just said that you know me well? Do you dare to say such a thing now? Danzo coldly threw the head of Sarutobi Lake Biwa, let it roll a few times in the corridor, and landed at Sarutobi Hiruzen's feet. You are Konoha bathed in light, and I am the root hidden in the ground. Until the very end, do you want to continue to maintain this relationship between us? Danzo's face was distorted, and he no longer concealed the secret of his right arm. Anyway, the 3 people on the opposite side knew it well. Not to mention, he has come here now with a mortal mood. What the hell do you want to do? Danzo. Danzo's distorted appearance makes Sarutobi Hiruzen feel strange. He even forgot to pick up his wife's head on the ground. He enjoys the support of the villagers and has been in charge of the strongest village in Ninja for 30 years. It is absolutely impossible to imagine him. A man who has been carrying the black pot for 30 years and has been swallowing his anger, once the internal grievances erupt, what consequences will it cause? Hiruzen. Let us die together, Danzo yelled, bit his finger and patted the ground. Summoning technique. Bang, accompanied by a puff of smoke, it diffused. A summoning beast whose facial outline looks like but is more than a few times bigger is summoned. Is that a taper? I just heard that, it's bigger than I thought. Nawaki was surprised. Advertisement Danzo stood on top of the summoning beast and said coldly. Of course, Kaharu and Homura will also be together. In the past 30 years, everything the old man has done, in the final analysis, the 4 of us accounted for the same proportion of responsibilities. There is no reason to ask the old man to resist all the responsibilities alone, and you are free. Spend the rest of your life at ease, right? Danzo, be sober. Hearing that Danzo was going to pull the 3 of them into the water, Udatane Kaharu panicked and hurriedly persuaded him. We don't want you to resist the guild alone, we just want to minimize the sacrifice. Yes, think about the Shimura family behind you. They need you to do this too. Mitokado Homura hurriedly said. This set of rhetoric is not bad for a simple fool like White Fang, but it is used to deceive the old man. Is it too despise of people? The next second Danzo yelled. The taper raised his nose and flung it to where the 3 of them were standing. Boom, the roof of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mansion was instantly destroyed. But the 3 of them also successfully avoided Danzo's first wave of attacks. However, the goal of Danzo's large-scale wind style is not Sarutobi Hiruzen or the other 2 elders. Danzo sneered. Huh, I just told Hitaki Xuan Che about my plan, he let me out without saying anything. Until Danzo kept talking about self-sacrifice, but it was his turn, he couldn't do it. It was the Sarutobi people who gradually gathered around. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Sarutobi Hiruzen found the blind spot and shouted loudly. He knows very well that he can't be Sarutobi Hiruzen's opponent and heads up. As for Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen was shocked, but it was not unacceptable. That kid would also be happy to see the results of the battle between you and me. Although I am very upset, I have no other choice now. If you can go to the world with me, it will not hurt to be used by that kid once. You are not reconciled to go to that world alone, so you want to take us on the road with you, right? To win, you must create chaos, but Sarutobi Hiruzen still can't figure it out. Wind-style ultra-double vacuum continuous waves. How did you escape from the prison that Minato personally supervised? Tell me, Danzo. After speaking, Danzo spit out the wind blade with the summoning beast under his feet. After all, he really knew each other well. There is such an idea, and it is justified. Chapter 127. Boom. 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 Just like the dual ninjutsu of fire style and oil of Jiraiya and Toad Fumata. Danzo and his own summoning beast's dual wind style, although not so exaggerated power. But in the end, the power above the A+ level. In one move, half of the houses of the Sarutobi tribe were cut apart like tofu. House after house collapsed. It is unknown how many members of the Sarutobi clan lost their lives in their sleep. First he lost his wife and then his tribe. Such pain caused Sarutobi Hiruzen to nearly collapse, raising his hand and shouting to Danzo. Stop Danzo. Don't be blinded by your inner hatred, you are just being used by Hitaki Xuan Che. It's impossible for the old man to live until the sun rises today, so stop playing your best emotional card, Hiruzen. Danzo snorted coldly. The old man said, as long as you and the old man can go to that world together, it doesn't matter if you were used. In such a riot situation, many ninjas of the Sarutobi family are naturally awakened from their sleep. One after another came toward the patriarch's residence where the turmoil started. When I saw Shimura Danzo who was in confrontation with the head of my family. The ninjas of Sarutobi were also very frightened and asked one after another. Master third generation, what happened? Why is Lord Danzo here? Who made the wind style just now? Master Hokage, my child was crushed to death by a broken beam. I want to avenge him. Even when he saw Shimura Danzo releasing the summoning beast, he looked murderous. None of these Sarutobi ninjas who rushed to put the suspicious target on Danzo the first time. After all, in their impressions, Lord Danzo and Lord Third Generation, they have known each other for half a century. They are not relatives but better friends than relatives. How could the wind style that caused the Sarutobi family to suffer serious damage just now by Lord Danzo? There must be someone else. Master Danzo called out the summoning beast just to deal with the opponent. But they still don't understand, Master Danzo shouldn't be in jail now. Sarutobi Hiruzen gritted his teeth and shouted, advertisement. All members of the clansmen ordered. Shimura Danzo escaped from prison without authorization and killed my members of the Sarutobi family. Now we will arrest them immediately. Since Shimura Danzo wants to kill the old man. The old man couldn't care about friendship anymore. There are other people's lives in Lake Biwa. Danzo, please pay it back. The surrounding Sarutobi ninjas were shocked by the sudden truth. But Sarutobi Hiruzen has also bitten his fingers and slapped to the ground. Summon his trump card summoning. Sarutobi, what's the situation? Ape Demon frowned. Danzo wants to kill me. I need your power, Sape. There is no time to explain. Sarutobi Hiruzen is straight to the point. What the hell happened? Although Saruma was puzzled, he still obeyed Sarutobi Hiruzen's orders and quickly became a wishful stick. Do you think I came to you without any preparation, Hiruzen? Danzo smiled coldly, waved his hand and shouted, come out. In an instant, nearly 30 Anbu wearing dark gray vests and animal-striped masks appeared. But Sarutobi Hiruzen, the predecessor of Hokage, can tell at a glance. This is not Anbu, but the root. Compared with Anbu's mask, the stripes on the root mask are more vicious. Even the roots of the remnant party, both Utatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura were frightened and their legs trembled. Since Danzo was imprisoned, his main force organization, Gen, was naturally also wiped out by Tsunade. The diehards who were brainwashed by Danzo were also thrown into the cell together. Who can think of it? This time Xuan Che is not only Danzo, but also his lackeys. Shimura Danzo and General fight against Sarutobi Hiruzen and the Sarutobi family. Nawaki was excited and said, no matter which side is killed, it is something to celebrate. Advertisement, however, with such a big movement, other ninjas will not. Terumi Mei suddenly thought of a question. That is the movement caused by so many people fighting, it is bound to attract the attention of Konoha's other ninjas and the ninja, in that case. Halfway through, Terumi Mei suddenly remembered the order Xuan Che gave during the day. No matter what kind of movement Konoha's ninja heard tonight, they were not allowed to move out. So it's for this. Xuan Che smiled slightly. Actually, even if I don't remind them, they won't come. Do it. Danzo yelled. Those root minions who were supposed to go to the execution bench with Danzo tomorrow morning. One by one suddenly pulled out the ninja swords and rushed towards the Sarutobi ninja below like a hungry wolf. Everyone fight. Sarutobi Hiruzen expanded the wishful stick to the size of the room pillar, flicked the two root players and shouted with all his strength. Fire style fire dragon fireball. At this moment, he also fully realized that Danzo was trying to pull himself on the road of Wangchen with him tonight. No matter how you persuade you, it's useless. In that case, there is only one battle. Forget it. Let me send you to that world with my own hands, so that I can keep a secret too. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen increased Chakra's output, which doubled the volume of the Fire Dragon Ball compared to when it was just spit out. Are you serious, Hiruzen? I can understand that as long as I can kill me here, I can keep your shameful secrets. As the person who knows Sarutobi Hiruzen best in the world, he knows what fart the other party wants to fart. This time, he also guessed Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind. But unfortunately, the old man not only knows your secrets, but also knows secrets you don't know, such as... At this point, Danzo smiled slyly and said astonishingly. What happened to Orochimaru to your son Sarutobi Asuma? Sarutobi Hiruzen's face changed drastically, and he immediately reduced the power of the Fire Dragon Bullet and shouted. What are you talking about? Danzo, how's Asuma? Oh, naive. Seeing that Sarutobi Hiruzen reduced the power of ninjutsu, Danzo laughed disdainfully. attached wind-style chakras kunai cut fire dragon bullet to his hand, and rushed straight towards Sarutobi Hiruzen. Chapter 128. How on earth did it happen? Why are there no other ninjas to come for reinforcements? What about the others? Chunin, a member of the Sarutobi family, cut off 2 fingers with a ninja knife to the root member who was completely ruthless on the opposite side, and gritted his teeth while covering the wound. Fight to this level. The movement caused was enough to attract the entire Konoha ninjas. However, until now, no ninjas other than the Sarutobi family, or even civilian ninjas, have come to help. Face the hundreds of ninjas in the Sarutobi family. The 30-odd root members who are Danzo's stubborn fans are definitely not enough to see. But being able to be favored by Danzo naturally has quite a bit of excellence. Even the weakest have the level of Chunin elite, same as Danzo. They also knew that they would not survive tomorrow's sunrise. In that case, it is better to pull a few partners on Wangshen Road. Because they are not obsessed with fighting ninjas. Seeing the old people, women and children fleeing in panic, they rushed forward without hesitation. Even Jonin is prone to become passive when dealing with Chunin when he needs to worry about others. The battle thus entered a stalemate, and outside of the Sarutobi clan, the other ninjas are not here. Instead, the best investigative ninjas of their respective families have been dispatched. The bloody scenes that will take place in the Sarutobi clan will be brought back to their respective families. The Roots headed by Shimura Danzo are fighting with the Sarutobi clan headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. The news passed back to the families. Anyone who has a bit of a brain is aware of something wrong with the atmosphere inside. First of all, how did Danzo and the Roots get out of prison? They don't think these third-rate goods can escape from Namikaze Minato's supervision. Secondly, should they get involved? Whether it is Shimura Danzo, who is now an escaped prisoner, or Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is the predecessor of Hokage. These two are not fuel-efficient lamps. Lu Ju, what do you think? After getting the news, Yamanaka asked their Ino Shikacho think tank. Going back to sleep, we saw nothing, heard nothing. Advertisement Naraluji didn't hesitate to point to her house. In combination with Xuan Che's instruction this day, Naraluju said that he has enlightened it. If you want to survive, you should pretend you don't know anything. It's like that of Sarutobi Shinosuke 7 years ago. Other family patriarchs made similar decisions. Patriarch, we. In the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Tio asked Uchiha Fugaku for instructions. Pretend you don't know, I'll go back. Uchiha Fugaku didn't hesitate for long, and said decisively. But he also had to marvel at the cruelty of Xuan Che's methods. Actually, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo, 2 conjoined babies, can kill each other. Quick, stop, Danzo, have you forgotten? Let's practice ninjutsu together under the guidance of teacher Tobarama, and swear to inherit the teacher's will of fire in the past. At this moment, Midokado Homura collapsed to the ground. He told him that his leg had been attacked by 3rd Mizukage before. Seeing Danzo strolling towards him, he cried out with tears in his nose and tears. You have lived a lot better than me in these 30 years, haven't you, Homura? The kunai in Danzo's hand condenses wind-style chakra, forming a long sword that is more than 1 meter long, and sneered. You and Kaharu, who are far less powerful than me, have been able to control Konoha for so many years, and there must be no regrets in life. Thanks to me, you can sit back and relax in the advisory position and enjoy, right? On strength, on aptitude, on strategy, how can you sit in such a high position? It's all because I can't stand on the bright side, right? Danzo asked his soul, and Midokado Homura was speechless. Even Konoha suffers from Danzo's damage, but he, Udatane Kaharu, and Sarutobi Hiruzen, are definitely greatly favored by the group. That's why I can sit in Konoha's highest position for 30 years. Danzo laughed angrily. And when I was in a life and death crisis, you didn't think about saving me, but how to use my final value. Homura, how did you return me? No, I don't think so. This. Speaking of the back, Midokado Homura didn't know how to answer for a while. Suddenly he found Udatane Kaharu who was about to sneak through the back door, pointing to the other person and shouting. Yes, it's Kaharu. Kaharu agreed before me, son of a B******ch. Udatane Kaharu, who was about to successfully drive away from the back door, suddenly heard Midokado Homura call out his name and cursed inwardly. Advertisement, however, she did not wait for any response. A sharp wind-style chakra kunai has pierced her left foot and pinned her to the ground. Ah! Udatane Kaharu screamed sharply, this is really exciting. On the eaves in the distance, Nawaki clapped his hands and exclaimed. I thought how indestructible the relationship between these 4 people is, and the result is not the same as the catastrophe is imminent. Thinking that there are feelings between politicians, that can only mean that you are too young, Xiao Chunin. Xuan Che smiled. Nawaki's face flushed, can you stop mentioning Chunan? Kaharu. Do you want to run? Danzo turned his target to Udatane Kaharu again, taunting. Don't save your companion. Stop, Danzo, That's it. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. As soon as the voice fell, Danzo suddenly waved wind-style chakra kunai in his hand, piercing the hearts of the 2. Quick, save me, Hiruzen. They will live at least another 20 years, 30 years. At this moment, the suddenly stretched wishful stick knocked Danzo into the air from the back, against the wall. The stick just now was enough to cause a fatal injury to Danzo. Hiruzen, hurry, scream, call Tsunade. Ekaharu and Mitokado Homura, who hadn't died yet, stretched out their hands to Sarutobi Hiruzen eagerly. However, anyone who is not deaf can hear the jokes in his tone. Don't want to die, they don't want to die, Nawaki's voice suddenly came. You two guys who don't make a good job, you don't know how to do it, you have enjoyed it for so many years, isn't it enough? Danzo lifted Ekaharu with the arm with Hashirama's face imprinted on his shoulder, threw it beside Mitokado Homura, and sneered. Oh, why is it so miserable, what happened? They are not willing to die here. A handful of wind-style chakra kanai Sarutobi Hiruzen was inserted into the shoulders and the legs, and the horns still roared with a ray of blood. Danzo. Chapter 129 Nawaki said that everyone retired, and the strange god of yin and yang appeared. The reason why he will show up. Of course there is a reason, the first is that the war has been fought until now. There is no need to sit and watch a play anymore. Secondly, he wants to see how Danzo finally plans to deal with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Tsunade. Ekaharu covered the blood that was constantly pouring from his heart, and stretched out his other hand to Tsunade, crying begging. Quick, save me, quick. Tsunade. No, Master Tsunade. Master Hokage, quick. I feel more and more painful. Mitokado Homura shouted to Tsunade, unwilling to be left behind. Nawaki couldn't help but laugh, mocking his face, and said, if you remember correctly, this should be the first time the two consultants have used honorific names to my old sister. When life and death are at stake, is that set of high-pitched airs gone? The two of them wanted to spray Nawaki with blood, but in this situation. Don't talk about this level of verbal insult. It was Senju Nawaki who unbuttoned his crotch, peeing on their faces, and did not dare to complain. Now his own life and death power, the master is in the hands of the other party. But even with my old sister's medical skills, it is impossible to have two consultants at once. Both of them are veterans who have worked hard for Konoha. Who should save them? This makes the juniors very entangled. Nawaki's eyes narrowed into a slit, sighing, and said, oh, shouldn't it be the case? The two will discuss and see who should be saved? As soon as these words came out, their expressions changed drastically. Kaharu, you see that your injury is obviously heavier than mine. Even if Tsunade is treated, the chance of being rescued is slim. It's not as good as. Mitokado Homura said tentatively. Fart, Mitokado Homura, are you shameless? Speaking of this incident, Ekaharu instantly violently cursed. If it weren't for you to call in Danzo, I would fall into this, Because of excessive excitement, a lot of blood spattered from the wound again. Advertisement seeing the two conjoined babies tearing apart, Nawaki's mood was extremely refreshed. Hey, Grandpa Tobarama, I really want you to see what demons and ghosts were chosen back then. On the other side, Sarutobi Hiruzen has retracted the wishful stick, walked in front of Danzo who was knocked into the wall, and asked in a cold voice. Danzo, before you die, I want to ask you one last thing. Danzo, full of blood, barely opened his eyes and sneered. It's Orochimaru and Asuma's business, right? Ahem. After speaking, Danzo coughed up several bites of blood and sprayed it on Sarutobi Hiruzen's face. Danzo himself knew that with his strength, it was impossible to defeat the opponent. The reason why Sarutobi Hiruzen was able to leave so many scars. It was all because Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to get information about Orochimaru and Asuma from his own mouth, so he kept his hands everywhere in the battle. And this also created opportunities for Danzo, although it ended in failure. Tell me, Sarutobi Hiruzen twisted Shimura Danzo's collar and shouted sharply. Hey, he. The smile on Danzo's old face became more and more brilliant, and he couldn't help but swallow the last breath. Orochimaru guy, betrayed. Me, do you really think, do I know your whereabouts? Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes stared like copper bells for an instant. Ha, Hiruzen, after all, you are still too naive, you don't know how to use people's hearts, so you have to rely on me. Danzo said madly. I just used your desire to regain Asuma's mood and lied that I knew their clues so that you wouldn't dare to kill me, but I didn't expect you to be so stupid to believe it, ha. The more Danzo said these words, Sarutobi Hiruzen's face turned red with anger. In the end, all the anger turned into a punch and hit Danzo's abdomen hard. And this punch completely killed Danzo. Yes, you can't do without me, Hiruzen. Wait, you will have a more miserable ending like me. No, a more miserable ending than me, Zero Fine Flowers advertisement. Danzo exhausted the last trace of his vitality and posted it to Sarutobi Hiruzen's ear. I'm here, that world. Waiting for you. After speaking, Danzo's head tilted, as if he had already gone to another world. Looking at Danzo, who had already died in front of him. After a long time, Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly fell to his knees, roaring in pain. The wife is gone, and the son's clue is broken, and the former best friend was also killed by himself. Although I didn't send Danzo to the execution stage personally, it was not bad, and I also enjoyed a big show. He lowered his noble head and pleaded at the back of Nawaki, who was about to leave. Ekaharu was afraid to yell at the opponent at this time, as that would only speed up his own death. Nawaki muttered to himself, then suddenly raised his volume and shouted. Did I promise you anything just now? Why didn't I remember? Besides, is there any value in the promise to the dead? They understood at this time, the kid Senju Nawaki was playing with them from the beginning. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Namikaze Minato looked at the Sarutobi clan, which was like hell on earth, with a complicated complexion, and nodded. Nawaki pretended to have a surprised expression, turned his head and asked in confusion. The voice fell, and a golden light suddenly fell from the sky. You go to that world, to my parents and Senju people, so that you can atone for your sins. Minato, please clean it up. At the end of his life and death, Udon Ekaharu also completely abandoned the superiority he had cultivated over the past 30 years. Before my parents died, they should have the same expressions as you. Very good, let me see the sad look of you more. Udon Ekaharu and Mitokado Homura, who were still tearing until just now, were startled. Wait. Rope. Nawaki, hurry up, call your sister. No, Tsunade-sama, save me. Nawaki grinned and stepped on their heads with a foot and said. Chapter 130. When Nawaki walked out of the Sarutobi clan, he only felt refreshed. He wants to sing a song in a refreshing way. It is a pity that the level of photography in this world is not good enough. Otherwise, he really wants to film the tearing scene of the F4 elders. I'll broadcast it a few times at home after I have nothing to do. As the night passed, the setting sun rose from the horizon. This day was originally scheduled for the public trial day for senior decision-maker Shimura Danzo. So many villagers rushed to the square early in the morning to watch the excitement. However, what they waited for was not a trial, it's a shocking news. Yesterday, prisoner Shimura Danzo led more than 30 people from the roots to escape from prison and attack the Sarutobi tribe. Kill Udon Ekaharu and Mitokado Homura, 2 senior advisors. The portal has been cleared by the 3rd generation 9,937 items. This kind of thing is okay to deceive the general public, as long as there is a kind of ninja thinking. A few flaws can be seen at a glance. First and foremost is how Danzo escaped from prison. Such a heavyweight prisoner, how could 4th Hokage Tsunade not be guarded by elite soldiers? And it wasn't just one person, but more than 30 people along with the roots escaped from prison. Are you a prison or a public toilet? Come as you like, leave as you like. But what makes Konoha's many ninjas unbelievable is that he is curious why Danzo is looking for 3rd generation. Didn't they have known each other since childhood, close friends? Why turn against the target? However, even doubts pile up like a mountain. But most of the Konoha shinobi people kept silent sensibly. They all realized that the water inside was too deep. It's better not to get involved. Wood-style 4-pillar house. Under the gaze of Xuan Che, Tsunade and others, Uchiha Shisui quickly pressed the seal to the ground. The houses of the Sarutobi tribe, which were destroyed by Danzo and the roots before, regenerated at an extremely fast rate. Grandpa's wood style. I didn't expect another day to see it with my own eyes. Advertisement. Tsunade's eyes widened in surprise. On the side, Nawaki even directly wrote the word, envy, on his face. Don't think about it, the probability of success is lower than if you were struck by lightning. Xuan Che saw through Nawaki's mind at a glance and struck. Nawaki scratched his head embarrassedly. Now the parents' enemies have been basically wiped out. He doesn't need to pursue power as before. But wood style really blends with you very well. Maybe you can even use big moves like the tree world's birth in the future. Xuan Che lowered his eyes and said Shisui, who was under 10 years old. Even because of the butterfly effect, Yamato didn't know where it went. But from Shisui's trick alone, he was enough to determine that Hashirama cells fuse in Shisui better than Yamato. Uncertainty can be determined to the extent of the filthy Madara. Senju and Uchiha, now that the 2 powers are fused in your body, you must have become the key training target of the Uchiha clan. Fugaku even has the idea of making you a 5th Hokage, right? Xuan Che asked again. Shisui looked awkward, scratched his side, and secretly said. Is this guess too accurate? It doesn't matter. As long as you have the strength, anyone can sit in the position of Hokage, but I am interested in something, Shisui. A smile appeared on Xuan Che's face, and he asked. Do you hate Konoha? Shisui's expression suddenly froze. Don't worry, tell the truth. Think about the bad things that happened to you, it's normal for you to have resentment in your heart. Xuan Che calmly said. Sharingan of Uchiha, also known as the Eye of the Soul Portrayal. Now that you have those eyes, it is enough to explain the problem. Suddenly, Shisui fell into a long silence. After a long time, he spoke quietly. Indeed, I hate Konoha's darkness, but during the time when I regained the light, I saw Konoha who smiled from the heart under the command of Tsunade-sama. I want to protect Konoha like this. Shisui raised his head again, and said in a firm tone. Tsunade was slightly stunned. Such a look. It reminded her of one of the most important guards of Grandpa Tobarama, Uchiha Kagami Zero. Get ready to report to Anbu. After thinking for a while, Tsunade decided. Advertisement as Uchiha, he joined Anbu of Hokage's direct troops. There is no doubt that Uchiha Shisui is the first person. This is also an expression of Tsunade's trust in Uchiha Shisui. Thank you very much, Master Hokage. Shisui knelt down on one knee. There is one more thing that needs your attention. After Nawaki thought for a while, he added. Uchiha recently seems to have some emotions, you should pay more attention to it. Located in an underground secret grotto between the land of fire and the land of earth. Have these things happened to Konoha recently? Hey, these disciples chosen by Tobarama are not so outstanding, but they are all good hands in internal fighting. The elderly Madara listened to White Zetsu's report and sneered with disdain. After turning his eyes to the rehabilitation training, Obito lay down on the wooden bed and fell asleep. In fact, his injury should have recovered long ago. Now, I want to grab the girl named Lin from behind his skin. The Hitaki family was born in this non-sage of 6 paths direct bloodline, and even the blood-stained imps. At present, there is no way to get him. Even if the ghetto statue continues to provide chakra for itself, there is always a degree. The reason is the same, because he can't find a chance to catch that girl Lin Yi Yuan. And his body is almost limit. The elderly Madara looks slightly sideways. Too difficult. It's just that Uchiha Madara has been asleep after Obito has been asleep, and ordered White Zetsu to quietly corrode his body to aggravate the injury. In order to create opportunities for Obito Blacken. If you don't seize the opportunity, I'm afraid it will be too late. Master Madara, in fact, we don't have to catch that little girl, we should be able to achieve our goal, right? White Zetsu said abruptly. Unless he is resurrected, and it is still in his heyday, he will have the confidence to control him. Although the elderly Madara didn't want to admit it, but the facts lay before her eyes. So Obito's body was unable to heal for a long time. Chapter 131 After a few minutes. Even if it is Madara who has lived for nearly 100 years, after listening to White Zetsu's proposal. His face also became a bit stiff. How did White Zetsu come up with such a loss method? For a kid with a dog-licking personality like Obito, this trick is more useful than killing that girl. White Zetsu grinned strangely. What is a licking dog? Old Madara asked abruptly. This question made White Zetsu difficult. How does he know what it is? They all eavesdropped on what Xuan Che said. After feeling very interesting, they learned how to use them. Anyway, it is used to describe people like Obito. At this moment, Obito on the wooden bed groaned. Uchiha Madara and White Zetsu stopped talking. Hey, white guy, when will I be cured? Obito, whose hair is much longer than it used to be, pulled off the artificial body of his feet and asked with a frown. It takes a certain amount of time to integrate Hashirama's artificial body in 09, not to mention that you have been injured so badly, it will take more than 2 years for the horror. White Zetsu estimated the next way. Why is it so long? I still want to go out soon to find Lin. Obito murmured. The old Madara lowered her head thoughtfully. This kid, 3 words are not separated from Lin. Is this the so-called dog licking? But White Zetsu may be right. That might really be a more efficient method. In Konoha village, although the specifications are low-key, but the number of guests is quite large, a wedding banquet is going on. The men and women of the wedding are Uzumaki Kushina, now Konoha Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Namikaze Minato, now Konoha Chunin. That's right, he could have taken over as the head of the intelligence department, because he slackened his duties in the previous task of supervising Danzo. Advertisement let the other party take the opportunity to escape from prison. Therefore, instead of being able to take over the Ministry of Intelligence, he was relegated to Chunin. Of course, the negligence of duty that caused Danzo to escape from prison is just a superficial excuse. The real reason is that this kid dared to ignore the order of the current Hokage and open the back door to the former Hokage. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen visit Danzo in violation of the order twice. If he didn't beat this kid, he wouldn't know who Konoha said now. The wedding banquet was held in a corner of the Senju clan. After all, Uzumaki and Senju had maintained a marriage relationship a long time ago, even at the end of the Sengoku era. Kushina of the Uzumaki clan got married, and Senju naturally wanted to show some face and free up the clan's territory for them to hold a wedding banquet. Ino Shikacho, Aburame, Inazuka, and even Hyuga and Uchiha are basically the clan chiefs who personally participate in the wedding banquet and present congratulatory gifts. It's amazing, I feel that all the big and powerful people in Konoha have come to the wedding. Terumi Mei's beautiful eyes quickly swept over the surrounding guests. Uchiha Fugaku, the patriarch of Uchiha. Hyuga Haishi, the patriarch of the Hyuga family. Nara Shikacho of Ino Shikacho, Akamichi Dingza, Yamanaka Hidaichi. Although Minato-sama was relegated to Chunin because of a previous mission error, his strength is recognized by everyone. Shizune interjected, and it is very likely that it will be the next Hokage. Naturally, there are many people who want to indulge in ties. Hey, what did the little girl from the Kato family say? Shizune had just finished saying this, when a sudden, unpleasant cold sound shocked her. Turning his head and looking, only a few black-haired men said with displeased faces. Who said that Namikaze Minato must be the next Hokage? Is it possible that there is a default? The ping-pong racket logo on the back is the Uchiha family. Just when Shizune didn't know where to get these people, she cringed and didn't know how to answer. Nohara Lin and Yurion walked over and asked, "What's wrong? Shizune, what are you doing?" The 4 women all put on formal kimonos, looking young and beautiful. That's Xuan Che's lil follower. Seeing the 2 women coming over, some Uchiha's eyes flashed with fear and they hurried away. What's wrong? Shizune, Ming, asked Nohara Lin, who was wearing a pure white kimono and decorated with purple flowers. Advertisement, cut, it's nothing, just bully the soft and fear the hard. Terumi Mei curled his lips. Probably the topic of the next Hokage stimulated them. Putting on his formal clothes, Kakashi, who came with his father Hitaki Tsukumo, interjected. Well, it's no wonder that, after all, as a clan who founded Konoha with Senju, now Senju has produced 3 Hokages, and Uchiha has none. Presumably they are also very unbalanced, right? If the next one is not Uchiha. The topics behind this are more sensitive, and Kakashi dare not say much. Haha, girls don't think so much, just relax. Hitaki Shumao smiled cheerfully, turned his head, and curiously said. Huh? Didn't Xuan Che come? Shisui is reporting to Master Xuan Che, asking us to come first. Nohara Lin explained with a smile, toss the bouquet. At this moment, I don't know who shouted so. At the next moment, Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina, the bride and groom, appeared on the balcony on the second floor. Kushina is holding a bunch of fireworks in her hand. Are these 13-year-old girls already worrying about marrying? Yurion and Terumi Mei are also close behind. Looking at her running daughter who was madder than anyone else, Yuri's face was really red and black. As he said, Xuan Che became lazy and walked out with a chuckle. The wedding is about to begin, too. Let's go have a meal. Yeah, Rin Nohara and the other females leapt for joy and ran away, ignoring that she was still wearing a kimono. After listening to Shisui's report, Xuan Che couldn't help but smile. No, Master Xuan Che, Uchiha is just a little emotional, far from reaching the level of conspiracy, and rebellion. I just mentioned it casually, so I don't need to be nervous. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. The corners of Hitaki's eyes twitched, uncomfortable. Shisui was surprised when he heard this, and quickly defended Uchiha. Speaking of the back, Shisui stammered nervously. Does Uchiha want to train you to become a 5th Hokage? But according to Tsunade's age, I don't see anyone who has no chance in 20 years. They will not advance. Chapter 132. Why are you smiling so stupidly? At the wedding banquet, Xuan Che carelessly picked up a large plate full of lobster, steak and other high-end ingredients. Seeing Yi Yuanlin holding a bouquet of flowers in her arms like a baby, Mr. Young, who laughed strangely from time to time, couldn't help but complain. Yi Yuanlin's little nose suddenly became irritated, and she turned her head aside with a roar of, hum. Seeing Xuan Che, he was puzzled for a while. That's a bouquet. Hitaki reminded him from the side. Then Terumi Mei is better. Xuan Che muttered. I don't know if it's because I haven't gotten married for a long time. Suddenly, Xuan Che found that Terumi Mei had also picked up a chicken leg, quietly that gnawing incense. Should she remind her not to eat too much? But think about it again, the little girl is still developing. The fat can be reduced later. If certain places do not eat well during the growth period and cannot grow up, it will be a pain for a lifetime. Yi Yuanlin quietly glanced back and found that Xuan Che's gaze was facing Terumi Mei. Angrily turned her little face back. Tisk, it's true fate. Tsunade, who was not far away, also spit out. Sister, what did you just say? Nawaki blinked and asked. It's nothing, your kid also quickly set up a family for me, so that my parents can feel at ease over there. Tsunade gave Nawaki a thump. Nawaki covered the place where he was knocked with a grieved face, feeling aggrieved in his heart. Are you 10 years older than me? Why don't you get married? But think about it again, my elder sister gave birth to a child, and it seems that she can't be named Senju. Sure enough, the great cause of inheriting the family can only be entrusted to me. Konoha 46 years, except for the marriage of Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. The battle between Sand Shinobi and Rock Shinobi is finally over. With Rock Shinobi occupying an overwhelmingly justified situation, 4th Kasuke Gaara had to send Jinchuriki to fight. Advertisement however, after his death, the new Jinchuriki has been unstable. Several new one-tailed Jinchuriki had not even had time to get on the battlefield. He died because of Shuhei runaway. In the end, Rock Shinobi's 4 tails Jinchuriki had a dispute with Onoki and left the village. As a result of Rock Shinobi's self-confidence, Luo Sha finally found a flaw and repelled Rock Shinobi's Lois. Onoki thought again, and finally decided to withdraw his troops. Anyway, what you can grab is almost the same. What can be squeezed from the poor ghost of the Kingdom of Wind has reached its limit. If this continues, other countries may seize the opportunity. And as Rock Shinobi's army gradually withdrew from the territory of the Kingdom of Wind. Also announced the Third Ninja World War, basically over. Just as Naraluku had expected at the beginning of the Third Ninja War. Tsunade's ruling style is indeed much more comfortable than the F4 Elders group headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Because he has a strong ability to rely on, Tsunade always gives orders. It won't be like Sarutobi Hiruzen, who will tell you one thing clearly and another secretly. I'm really dissatisfied with you. Tsunade directly asks you to get out of it with a document. It's that simple and rude. At the same time, it also makes it easy for the subordinates to act. At least you don't have to be afraid of the person above, who suddenly stabbed you in the back. This was absolutely impossible in the political circles of Xuan Che's previous life. But in the final analysis, power determines everything in the world, and it can be done. At the end of Konoha's 47 years, this year, it was quite interesting. First of all, Yilei Ramen Restaurant, which will become the world's most famous gourmet restaurant, officially opened. The legendary Otsutsuki hand played. Xuan Che was in a bad taste, and he really went to see him. I don't know if I can turn on the 6 paths mode. And over time, Nohara Lin, Yurihong, and Terumi Mei are the girls who are in the developmental stage, and the growth rate is amazing. If it is not perennial, the temperament will change again in a few months. Puff, in the courtyard of Xuan Che's house, advertisement. Hitaki took a staggered step and fell to the ground on one knee. The scarf collar of the forehead protector on the forehead was divided into 2 pieces and dropped to the ground, and the iconic weapon, the short blade named White Tooth, was also inserted upside down in the ground. It's so boring, stop playing. Xuan Che curled his mouth and retracted Zanpakuto of Ryujin Jaka, who had not even been liberated, with his scabbard. This is the little game that their brothers have liked since childhood. Instead of chakra and other energies, only use sword skills to fight. Whoever can knock off the opponent's sword first wins. On the floor of the corridor, the Wall Gen trio kneeled side by side, all showing a stunned look. Good, amazing, Master Xuan Che, slapped White Fang's knife so soon. No, I didn't see it clearly, it's too fast. Hitaki Tsukumo gave a wry smile, picked up the saber, turned his head and said. Is it boring? It seems that you have been thrown away further and further. Now he has reached the pinnacle of cage level. As a bloodless ninja, this level of strength is already at the limit. Then, she is pregnant, what do you want me to do? Huh, Master Xuan Che, there was good news just now that Mrs. Makoto is pregnant. Shisui scratched his head and said, but Xuan Che commented that it was boring, and Hitaki couldn't help sighing. No, Mrs. Makoto said, she seems to want to name the two children, Kaizang. Is Urzuzi renamed? The Changan trio blushed. Pay attention to your words, I don't know what I thought I made her pregnant. Looking at these two goods, he said, the fourth ninja war in the future will be from cage level to 6 paths in just 3 days, and countless traversers will be embarrassed on the 2 walls. Of course Xuan Che knows. Where is the limit of my own brother? Xuan Che and Hitaki are at the same time dumbfounded. Xuan Che raised an eyebrow and asked. Shisui, wearing an Anbu mask, suddenly walked into the gate of the mansion and shouted. Standing in the 3 big loli. No, the girl was drinking tea next to her, and from time to time she almost smelled the faint fragrance of Xuan Che from the 3 of them. Chapter 133 Just hide. This name, Xuan Che and Hitaki Shumao couldn't be more familiar. How could it be unfamiliar? This is the name of their father who has been dead for many years. Hitaki just hid. He has been dead for many years, but his name is still mentioned in the mouths of some Konoha shinobi from time to time. Not because of how tough he is, but because he has 2 famous sons in the ninja world. Hitaki Xuan Che and Hitaki Shumao. After all, there is no need to shoot Sarutobi Hiruzen's flattery. The shock on Xuan Che's face lasted only a few seconds, and then quickly calmly analyzed the reason. In the original book, Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Makoto named the younger son, Sasuke. That is the name of the old man Sarutobi Hiruzen. That is to show good wishes to Sarutobi Hiruzen, or the reason for flattering. You see, I let myself follow your father's surname, can I show my loyalty to you? But there is no fart. Didn't the clan be annihilated afterwards? Without any hesitation, now, the situation is very different. The lord of the 3rd generation who once sat on the name of the strongest Hokage in all generations. It's no longer as good as grandson. The only purpose for him to live now is to look for the trace of his younger son Asuma. Naturally, Uchiha Fugaku didn't need to ask his younger son to call him by name in order to please him. Instead, he transferred the flattering object to Xuan Che. Uchiha is hiding. This name is too strange, right? What's more, the second pillar that is not called Sasuke, is it still the second pillar? Later when I call him or smoke him, it feels embarrassing to think that he shares the same name with his father. Let him change his name, I think Sasuke is good. Xuan Che took a deep breath. I see, I'll tell Mrs. Makoto. Although he didn't understand why Xuan Che rejected this proposal, which he thought was quite good, Shisui still left obediently. Prepared to convey Xuan Che's meaning to the group leader and his wife. Advertisement, I think this is good, isn't it? It helps to grow the relationship between the village and Uchiha. Hitaki interrupted. Although he is a political idiot, he also vaguely feels that there is a thin or thick gap between Uchiha and the village. The reason is not hard to guess. Nearly 50 years after the village was founded, all 3 of 4th Hokage were born in Senju. It is inevitable that Uchiha, who is also a villager, will be unbalanced. If you have come, you will be at ease. When something really happens in the future, you can deal with it. Xuan Che yawned, lying on the aisle, and uncle said lazily. Lin squeezed my head down, Hong helped me squeeze my legs and went to pour tea. Seeing his brother's corrupt bureaucracy, Hitaki twitched and left quickly. I'm afraid I can't help but want to hit him, although I can't beat it. When Tsunade dragged his tired body back home for a day. I just saw Xuan Che lying on Yi Yuanlin's knees, asking him to rub her temples. And the 2 feet drooped in front of Shirihong, letting Shirihong, whose facial features became more and more charming, pinch her legs. There is also Terumi Mei angrily picking up the skin to help him to the side. What about Tsunade? The old lady is going to hack this B************** D to death. Yo, Shaozuna is back. Come and eat some fruit. Xuan Che got up and hugged Tsunade into his arms, and put Terumi Mei's freshly peeled grapes into the mouth of the other person with flowers and offerings to the Buddha. Master Hitaki is so enjoyable, will you have to change places to let these 3 girls serve you in 2 years? Tsunade spit out the grapes, and asked without a smile. Actually, it doesn't take 2 years, 1 year is enough. Well, you can't really say this, otherwise the whole house will be demolished by Tsunade. Hey yeah, at night, Tsunade made a murmur that was totally incompatible with the character of her mother Tyrannosaurus. Snapped. Xuan Che slapped it on top, and said in a bad mood. Be normal, what's wrong with it? Because she was really lacking strength, Tsunade could only give the other person a blank look, and tried to say. Advertisement, I don't want to be a Hokage anymore, I'm exhausted, I'm going to the casino, I'm going to drink, I'm going to eat barbecue. Snapped, snapped, snapped. Xuan Che slapped him several times in a row. The painful Tsunade hurriedly begged for mercy and said with a deep resentment. What are you doing? Are you crazy? Give you the position of Hokage. The third ninja wars took 3 years. As a result, you only had more than 2 years and didn't want to be anymore. You were violent. Although Tsunade served as Hokage in the original book, it was not even a few years before he had a lot of money. But your heat disappeared too quickly in these 3 minutes, right? Cut. I'm exhausted outside, you enjoy yourself at home, I'm not convinced. Tsunade tried his best to suppress it. Hiss, this weight must be more than 10 caddies, right? If you are really inappropriate, the only candidates are my husband and Minato, right? Xuan Che said to himself. Suddenly a question came to mind. If there are no Uchiha-born personnel in consecutive 5th Hokage, what will happen? There is no doubt that the emotions of at least some of them will riot. But at least it will not annihilate the race, even if Shisui is sure that he can reach Kage level in the future. But if he wants to become Hokage, there is still a long way to go. And if in order to take into account Uchiha, the position of Hokage is deliberately handed over to Uchiha Fugaku. Don't say Xuan Che doesn't agree, and other big clans can't agree. Hitaki Tsukumo, Namikaze Minato, and Xuan Che who are not interested in Hokage's location at all. Which strength and accomplishment will not end up exploding Uchiha Fugaku? For comparison, the minded Nara Kageyu is good enough to match Uchiha Fugaku. No matter how you row, it's not your turn, and in the next room. The 3 girls held a cup tacitly. After more than an hour, he poured himself several glasses of water, and he fell asleep with a slightly wilted expression. Although I know that this is bad for my body, I can't help it, it's almost a habit. Huh? How does it feel like traditional craftsmanship? The Changan trio will never be absent, chapter 134. Konoha is 48 years old. I don't know what wind is blowing this year. It seems that all wives in Konoha village who have people with heads and faces are all pregnant. Except after Uchiha's patriarch's wife announced her second child. Ino Shikacho also announced that their wife was pregnant. Xuan Che said he wanted to ask, are your wives the same person? Then there is Inuzuka Claw, the head of the Inuzuka family, and the wife of Aburame Shuei, the head of the Aburame family. Finally, there is Namikaze Minato's wife, Nine-Tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Kashina. And the wife of Hyuga Haishi. Xuan Che walked a few steps on the street, feeling, I could hit a pregnant woman. Even if it has been nearly 40 years since it has been through this world. What happened in the specific year he had forgotten about it a long time ago. But after hearing about these pregnancy anecdotes, he also knew that the Shaoqiangs were still born. If these children were born, they would all be students of the same ninja school, right? After greeted Mrs. Hyuga, who was out shopping for groceries, Rin Nohara folded her hands behind her back, revealing her signature angel smile and said, Patriarch Uchiha, Minato Senpai, Ino Shikacho's patriarchs. So many high-ranking officials gathered together, it feels so terrible. In the same year, she and Yurihong, although they also gathered Obito from Uchiha, Hokage's son Asuma, and the hero White Fang's son Kakashi. But compared to the scale of the next 12 small powerhouses, it is still far behind. It's been a long time, Master Xuan Che, and Lin, Hong, and Ming. A gentle voice came into the ears of several people. Turning her eyes along the voice, a woman with a gentle expression was waving at them with a big belly and a smile. He is holding a vegetable basket in his left hand and a child about 4 years old in his right hand. Mrs. Makoto, it's been a long time since I saw you. Yi Yuan Lin smiled back and ran up. Hello, 1007. Nohara Lin waved to the little boy next to her again. Uchiha Itachi pulled out an unnatural smile. Hello, you. Are you familiar? Xuan Che walked up. I knew it when I was working at Konoha Hospital. Rin Nohara responded with a smile, and rubbed Itachi's head with her hand, and smiled. From now on this child will be as cute as Itachi. Cute? This kid? Xuan Che looked at a young ferret with 2 tear grooves on both sides of the bridge of his nose. Then think of the dutiful behavior of this man in the original book. Advertisement, damn it, it has nothing to do with cuteness. In comparison, he would prefer to make Hinata a mascot. It's definitely not 36E who likes her in the future. By the way, the current Terumi Mei is very close to this size. Even though Yurihong and Nohara Lin are far apart, they are considered to be the best among women of the same age. You must know that at the age of Tsunade, Xuan Che still wondered if what he knew was a fake. It's still so flat at 15 years old. Later, after 18, I was turned into a real woman by myself, and it started to explode. It is said that the Minato class corresponds to the 7th class in the future. Naruto is Obito on the right path. Sasuke is Kakashi on the crooked road. But Xuan Che couldn't compare Lin and Sakura together anyway. Among other things, if the airport appears on Lin. Gee, disaster. Master Xuan Che, hello, my name is Uchiha Itachi. In the eyes of her mother, Uchiha Itachi, who is still relatively introverted, mustered up the courage and introduced himself to Xuan Che. Well, that kid Shisui mentioned you to me, saying that you can think like Hokage when you were 4 years old. Xuan Che looked directly at the filial son. The 3 goddesses were slightly startled. 4 years old thinking like Hokage? This is too exaggerated, right? I just want to know what life is and why ninjas keep fighting. Uchiha Itachi lowered his head and said, "Think about it slowly, I have to leave beforehand." Xuan Che waved his hand, left sideways, and gestured for the three women to follow. He didn't want to discuss these philosophical topics with the little old man. Does it make sense? This is a world where fists decide fate. Whoever is strong can decide everything. What do you want to do? It's only annoying. Naruto? Zero fine flowers. Advertisement in a shady homestay. Xuan Che and Yi Yuan Lin, who were invited here, learned of the names Namikaze Minato and Kushina had given to their upcoming children. That is the name of the protagonist of Jiraiya's first published novel, The Legend of Perseverance. It is said that what he thought of when he was eating ramen, Kushina's belly, is not as exaggerated as Uchiha Mikoto's. But there is a slight bulge, and then, what did you want me to do? Xuan Che asked while sitting opposite Namikaze Minato. Jinchuriki is in childbirth, when the seal is the easiest to loosen. The happiness on Namikaze Minato's face instantly turned solemn, and he said with a heavy tone, "I hope I can catch Master Xuan Che's power." Xuan Che fell into a brief silence. Let's talk about the dangers of Kushina during childbirth. It's nothing but the kid Obito. But the problem is that 3 full years have passed since the timeline of the original Obito Blacken. Lin has been alive and well. Xuan Che couldn't help but wonder what the old fox Uchiha Madara was doing. Could it be possible that he didn't save Obito at all? That kid really died in the Battle of God Wubi Bridge. Kushina. Clang. In the mind space. Nine Tails is trying to break through the seal again. Here I am. However, the truth is, suddenly, a pair of huge eyes opened from the void behind Nine Tails. It's a pity, When Xuan Che saw this, he got up and followed, and immediately saw Kushina kneeling on the ground surrounded by the 3 women, holding his stomach in pain. Namikaze Minato sweated profusely and began to seal the seal. A faint red chakra overflowed on his body. Xuan Che was about to speak, when the kitchen suddenly heard the sound of the plate falling to the ground, followed by Kushina's painful cry. Namikaze Minato thought that the other party was calling himself, and turned his head subconsciously. Hello. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Namikaze Minato ran into the kitchen with a panic expression. Makes Nine Tails shiver violently. Son! Xuan Che suddenly shouted a word. Across the sealed door, Kushina was holding her stomach in pain, while Nine Tails was on the other side, staring at each other with a hideous expression. Chapter 135. Kushina, kneeling and hugging her belly in front of the sealed door, suddenly felt the burning pain from Nine Tails' chakra disappear suddenly. Subconsciously turned his head to look at Nine Tails opposite the sealed door. When the huge eyes behind those long-lost eyes came into the field of vision, Kushina's face is also full of incredible colors. The next moment, Kushina just felt that the picture before her turned around. When I came back to my senses, what I saw with my eyes was my own kitchen. Kushina, are you okay? Great. Seeing that the looming red Nine Tails Jinchuriki on Kushina's body had disappeared, Namikaze Minato hurried forward with excitement. That was. Kushina was in shock. Suddenly noticed Xuan Che, whose expression was extremely calm from beginning to end. 940. Those eyes are exactly the same as those seen in the sealed space. It's a pity, Minato, someone made an appointment for me that day, but I will let Tsunade and my stupid brother watch for you. After the dinner time, Xuan Che gave Namikaze Minato a reply before leaving with the Changan trio. Although it's a pity that Xuan Che doesn't have any plans to do it personally for some reason. But there are Konoha's White Fang and Princess Tsunade. Plus yourself. With 3 full cage level players, even Nine Tails can't make any waves. Minato, I saw it in my inner space just now. When there were only 2 people left in the house, Kushina pulled Namikaze Minato's sleeve. Retell the scenes previously seen in the sealed space to Namikaze Minato intact. Able to enter the place where you communicate with Nine Tails. Namikaze Minato shivered in shock. Apart from the secret sealing technique of the Sharingan and Uzumaki clan, there is no other way to enter the space where Jinchuriki communicates with the tail beast. Advertisement just using the aura to deter the tail beast was incredible enough. Not to mention the 9 tails with the strongest power among the 9 big tail beasts. Are you taking it to the next level, Master Xuan Che? Namikaze Minato thought with lingering fear. Although it has gradually entered summer, the breeze blowing at night still brings some coolness. Konoha Cemetery. The mausoleums of Shimura Danzo, Utatane Kaharu, and Mitokado Homura are placed side by side in a corner position. Here, a terrifying scene is happening. Shimura Danzo's mausoleum was excavated when the coffin slab in the mud was exposed. Several pythons with large adult arms circled up and tore the lid of the coffin apart. Wrapped in the corpse that has turned into a mummy, slowly take it out. I really didn't expect that the invincible Lord Danzo and the 2 consultants would actually die in this way. Shouldn't it be Xuan Che Kunyu? Standing at the side of the grave, Orochimaru, who was manipulating these beasts, smiled strangely. The scene at that time must be very interesting, but unfortunately I can't witness it with my own eyes. Xuan Che stepped on the monument of Utatane Kaharu next to him, and asked with a hint of curiosity on his face. I'm a little curious, are you Orochimaru now? Or, where is Sarutobi Orochimaru? Don't worry, I'm still me, even if someone else's body is occupied, I'm still me. Orochimaru responded with a cold laugh. At your current age, you don't need to rush to change your body? It's just to make your teacher sick? Xuan Che squinted his eyes and asked again, Orochimaru, who is not yet 40 years old, is in the prime time of a ninja. And every time living corpse reincarnation replaces the body, it will damage the soul and require a lot of time to repair. If the soul of the occupier resists Orochimaru, the risk will be even greater. Through the curse imprints I developed, Asuma-kun's body and I have become very harmonious, so why not take it if I can replace it with a younger body? Orochimaru squeezed his hand and laughed again. Of course, meeting Sarutobi with this attitude is honest and very exciting. Advertisement. Orochimaru collected Danzo's body into the storage scroll, and controlled the python to refill the soil. At the same time, he asked Xuan Che. The time Xuan Che-kun chose was when Kushina was giving birth, right? Very interesting days. On that day, in order to prevent Nine Tails from breaking through the seal, all ninjas who are free must be sent to guard. At the same time, the guards of the Sarutobi clan will become extremely empty. Isn't it a very suitable day for you? Xuan Che supported his cheek with one hand. Xuan Che told Namikaze Minato before that Orochimaru was the one who had an appointment with him that day. On that day, Orochimaru was about to officially make a complete break with his beloved teacher. But even so, facing Sarutobi and Shimura alone, the risk is still higher for me, and I still hope Xuan Che-kun will help. Orochimaru also knows why Xuan Che gave himself this opportunity. It is to use his own hands to destroy the two great clans of Shimura and Sarutobi. Xuan Che doesn't care what Orochimaru wants to do, but since he wants to help himself, he has to pay a price. Of course, I will witness this battle between your master and disciple with my own eyes. Xuan Che smiled. To be honest, Sarutobi Hiruzen now has no right to make Xuan Che take him seriously. It's just an old man waiting to die, but helplessly, the debt he owed was too much. Aside from other things, Orochimaru also belongs to the kind of character that must be reported. He must avenge the grudges he planted on himself back then. However, even Xuan Che, a traverser, could not predict everything in advance. For example, this time, after Obito fell asleep again, the elderly Madara and White Zetsu once again communicated secretly about Obito's Blackened project. Master Madara, the day when Jinchuriki of Nine Tails is about to give birth in a few months is a great opportunity. White Zetsu said to the elderly Madara with a smirk. The elderly Madara can also feel that his vitality is really at its limit. Even if the Gedo statue provides chakra supply, it can't support too much. Although what White Zetsu came up with is very bad, it can only be done like this. Go do it. Chapter 136 Konoha October 8, 48. In the grotto that is the secret base of Uchiha Madara. Now 15 years old, the original hedgehog head of the same style as Naruto has become the same waist-length hair as Madara. Feeling the feat that he can control completely, Obito jumped up from the wooden bed, kicked his feet excitedly, and said with joy. Finally, I will finally see you again, Kakashi, Lin. Finally, it has recovered. We haven't collected the rent for these years. It is considered that we have suffered a big loss. White Zetsu smirked out of the wall. The injury that could have recovered in half a year was delayed abruptly for 3 years. This is indispensable to the credit of his White Zetsu. Quickly open the big stone blocking the exit and let me out. Obito raised his head and shouted, You can't break the rock with your strength. Let's merge with my body. Half a head of Alfie emerged from Obito's feet, and then his body bloomed like a flower bud, wrapping Obito's body completely in it. Are you leaving? Suddenly, the 09-year-old Madara behind him asked abruptly. Well, thank you for saving me, but I won't be back again. Obito doesn't look Kaido either. It's too early to thank me, you will definitely be back, and then I will accept your real thanks. Old Madara said calmly. Obito stopped talking, using the powerful force that Alfie had integrated into his body. After smashing the huge rock blocking the exit, he ran towards Konoha village, the country of fire, and left the ghost place where he had lived for 3 years. By the way, Obito, there is something else to let you know. White Zetsu used Alfie's body covered by Obito's body surface to preach to the soul. The Konoha now is very different from when you were alive. What's wrong? Obito galloped between the trees, frowning at the same time. Tsunade Heim takes over the position of Sarutobi Hiruzen and becomes 4th Hokage. In addition to this, there are a bunch of big things. The most important thing at the moment is the delivery of Nine Tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Kushina. Hearing these words by White Zetsu, a familiar voice appeared in Obito's mind, secretly saying. Kushina-san. What kind of relationship does she have with teacher Minato? Advertisement, so what do you want to say? Obito asked again. Nine Tails is very likely to break through the seal while Jinchuriki is giving birth. Madara once tamed Nine Tails and has the seal, unblocking and summoning methods for Nine Tails. Now I give you the use of these techniques. If Nine Tails breaks through the seal, it will be better to deal with him. Obito frowned slightly, it always feels a bit wrong. It stands to reason that Madara, a rebellious person, has no affection for Konoha, and may even hate most of it. What does Nine Tails destroy Konoha like? What does it matter for him? But it's not a bad thing to think about learning more, so he nodded and signaled White Zetsu to teach himself the Jiin method. If I can go back with a more powerful attitude, Lin will appreciate me more, right? Hey hey. Obito also had his own little nine in his heart. Be prepared to accept our gift from you, Obito. White Zetsu smirked inwardly. At Konoha Hospital, Tsunade, 4th Hokage, also performed the birth check for Kushina himself. And determined the production day, which is the time around the night after tomorrow. After repeated discussions, it was finally decided to arrange the production room in a small wooden house on the outskirts of the village. Well, it's actually the hut where Xuan Che lived for 20 years. Tsunade, the world's first medical ninja, delivered the baby. Originally, I planned to let the 3 students, Rin Nohara, Shizune and Yurihong, deliver the baby with them. But because of Nohara Lin's special situation, only Shizune and Yurihong were allowed to go. On the outside, Hitaki Sakumo as the captain, Hitaki Kakashi, Uchiha Shisui and other Anbu elite members guarded outside. Why use my previous home as a delivery room? Xuan Che was speechless, but still agreed. But this day was really lively. Not only was it the birthday of Uzumaki Naruto, the son of the plug-in, Orochimaru was also preparing to sneak into Konoha and have a break with his respected teacher Sarutobi. But even Xuan Che didn't know, just when he was out during the day. A white Zetsu clone suddenly sneaked into Yi Yuan Lin's room, and secretly added something to the papaya milk that Yi Yuan Lin drank daily. Advertisement, just adding here is enough. No, if this plan fails, there is no room for recovery, just in case it's all added. Originally finished in Nohara Lin's room, the white Zetsu clone thought it should be fine. But after thinking about it, this mission is absolutely not tolerant of failure. So in all the rooms except Xuan Che, all the drinks and food were added, computer accessories. Okay, that's it. Withdraw quickly. After confirming that it was foolproof, the white Zetsu clone quickly retracted into the mud to ensure that it was foolproof. The evening sun in the outskirts hut where Xuan Che once lived. There were screams after another. Take a deep breath, Lord Kushina. Take a deep breath. Strong, hard, The calls of Tsunade's master and apprentice and Kushina's painful calls continued to come from inside the house. Kakashi, Shisui and others who were guarding the door felt a chill in their backs. No, are you okay, Ms. Kushina? Kakashi was embarrassed. This is just the beginning, and afterwards, some people suffer. When your mother gave birth to you, she also tossed for more than 4 hours. Hitaki Sakumo smiled bitterly, that's pretty fast. Shisui took a deep breath, secretly saying that fortunately, he was a man. In Kushina's painful cry, the sun began to gradually set to the horizon. Shisui looked up at the night sky. I found that the full moon tonight is very full and shining. Even, people can't help but feel a little shuddering in their hearts. Just when the 3 cage-level powerhouses were all gathered in the suburbs. A dark shadow sneaked into Konoha's Sarutobi clan. Many forces gathered tonight. This Konoha is too messy. Chapter 137. The eldest son died in battle, the second son disappeared, and now even his wife is lost. Sarutobi Hiruzen said that he would not be happy anymore, and happiness has nothing to do with him. On weekdays, besides using tea art, potted plants, chess and other things to entertain the mood like ordinary little old men, it is to send a few subordinates to look for Orochimaru's traces and try to retrieve his youngest son Asuma. It is certainly not that Sarutobi Hiruzen has not sought help from Tsunade. I hope she can send a team of ninjas to search for Orochimaru's traces. However, Tsunade's answer to this is, there's no time, you can post the commission task yourself. Just kidding, when you were Hokage, the public tool used to arrange a ninja team to find your son, and the old lady couldn't control it. Now you are not, still want to go whoring for nothing? Do you want a son? Pay your own money to release the task and let the ninja pick it up. Pay for things. To track the trail of the S-class traitor Orochimaru, even if it is not a crusade, it is just tracking. That is definitely a difficult task that can be evaluated as a level. Only Jonin has the confidence to pick it up, but which Jonin in the village has a brain disease to take on such thankless tasks? Everyone knows how bad the relationship is between Sarutobi Hiruzen, the former Hokage and the current Hokage. At the risk of being missed by the current Hokage to help the former Hokage? Feeling that you are having a great time? I have to add some blockage to myself, right? Therefore, even Sarutobi Hiruzen gave an S-level reward for this A-level task. No one dared to answer. In desperation, Sarutobi Hiruzen can only turn to Jiraiya, the only one who has some mentorship with him. Jiraiya gave face, at least verbally agreed. After all, Jiraiya himself wanted to find Orochimaru. But there was no news for more than 2 years. All I know is that he is writing pornographic novels recently. An angry Sarutobi Hiruzen wants to find Jiraiya to face off. Did this kid look for it seriously? Well, it's quiet. Just when Sarutobi Hiruzen kept pruning his precious potted plants. Advertisements suddenly smelled an unusual smell. It's too quiet and even a little weird. Although he was attacked by Danzo last year, the Sarutobi family lost some of their troops. But even so, Sarutobi is still Konoha's first-tier family. How could it be so quiet? The restlessness in my heart grew stronger. Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the scissors in his hand and walked out. However, he just took a step out of the main entrance of the mansion. Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned by the picture that came into view. 2 Chunin guards in charge of guarding his house. Lying at the door with a purple complexion, 2 hideous faces were coiling around them. When I found myself, he was hissing a snake letter at myself. Sarutobi Hiruzen was startled for a few seconds, then gritted his teeth and roared. Orochimaru. In the tone, there is struggle, anger, and a hint of excitement. The target that I have been searching for many years will be delivered to the door. Is there anything more exciting than this? Teacher Sarutobi, when did you become so impulsive and irritable? This is not the manner that a mature and stable politician should have. There is hardly any difference from the face in the memory. After many years, it came into view again. The Konoha shinobi system has long been replaced with a classic gray and white robe, coupled with the image of a rope tied around the waist. You dare to come back? Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes were full of bloodshot eyes, and it seemed that fire would burst out in the next second. Why didn't I dare to come back? I didn't commit any crimes. Didn't my crimes follow the orders of you and Lord Danzo? If I were a criminal, wouldn't you be the same? Orochimaru cheerfully said. A lot of things happened during the time I left Konoha. The four of you, the highest authority in Konoha, would kill each other until only one person is left. It's a pity that I was not there at that time. When Orochimaru said this, many ninjas of Sarutobi and Shimura already feel it. Gathered around the mansion. Originally, the distance between the two clans was only half a street away. Although Orochimaru entered Konoha quietly, it was because Xuan Che and Tsunade gave him privileges. Advertisement, but when you enter the Sarutobi clan, you can only get in. After all, the Atonin 5 has not yet been established. Orochimaru's forces are still extremely limited, and it is impossible to be as comprehensive as the Konoha collapse plan in the original book. But even so, this is enough. That is, Orochimaru? Why is he back? Quick, call for reinforcements. No way, now most of the ninjas in the village are sent out to participate in guard work. Sarutobi and Shimura ninjas who arrived were shocked when they saw Orochimaru. When I subconsciously wanted to move reinforcements, I suddenly remembered that Tsunade had ordered that all the ninjas left behind in the village were sent to the outer defense line of the village. Where is Asuma? Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't want to talk to Orochimaru about the old hatred and trivial matters. He only cares about one thing, and that is the whereabouts of his youngest son Asuma. It has been missing for 5 years. Where's that child? Are you still alive? Since you want to meet so much, no promise, you meet. Orochimaru laughed strangely. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked happy and subconsciously thought that his son was still alive. However, Orochimaru covered his face with his right hand. Then nearly 100 Sarutobi, Shimura, including Sarutobi Hiruzen, were stunned. He tore his face off. What appeared was an extremely young picture, only about 15 years old. But it has a 50% similar face to Sarutobi Hiruzen when he was young. Sarutobi Hiruzen almost stared out of his eyes. He was completely stupid. Why, what's the matter? His face. He and Mr. Hokage are like nephews. Difficult, could it be that it's Master Asuma? How is this possible? What is going on? At this moment, Sarutobi Orochimaru join. Chapter 138, ha ha, ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's sluggish appearance, Orochimaru with Asuma's face finally couldn't help laughing wildly. That's right, it's this expression. He has been looking forward to seeing this expression on his teacher's face. Who are you? Finally, Sarutobi Hiruzen could not help but roar amidst the rampant laughter that was obviously his youngest son Asuma. The saliva star flew out. Why ask such a strange question, Mr. Sarutobi? Sarutobi Orochimaru opened his hands and responded with Asuma's voice. It's me, Orochimaru, what the hell is going on? An onlooker outside the door, Sarutobi Chunin, shouted incredible. Why does Master Asuma's face appear on Orochimaru's face? Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression suddenly fused again, and his pupils shrank sharply. Is it possible, have you completed that technique? Just now, he remembered something long ago. That was just shortly after the end of the Second Ninja World War. After the war ended, Jiraiya returned to Konoha from the front line. In an occasional small chat, the master and apprentice talked about Orochimaru. Jiraiya said that Sanin was fighting the enemy on the front line and discussed their dreams. Orochimaru said that he has no other ideals other than learning all ninjutsu in this world. At that time, Jiraiya retorted that human life is limited, and it is impossible to learn all the arts. However, Orochimaru only smiled and retorted, that can't be said. Then, there is no more. That discussion has yet to yield any results. Was interrupted by the assaulting enemy, and seeing Orochimaru look like this, Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately remembered. That creepy technique, living corpse reincarnation. Finally, Orochimaru said the name of his ultimate forbidden technique, and said with a smile. Very good, right? Teacher, thanks to the help of Asuma-kun, I got a new life. Although he resisted fiercely at the beginning, after years of hard work, I finally transformed his body to a level that blends with me perfectly. While saying this, Orochimaru raised his arm and looked admiring. If the target of living corpse reincarnation is not easy to surrender their body, but the heart resists, then the reincarnation ceremony is very dangerous. Advertisement in response to this weakness, Orochimaru developed the curse seal. Not only to let the target get the power of fairy magic, but also to inject his own chakra into the opponent's body. In order to achieve the effect of assimilation with your own body. In this way, as long as the accumulation of time has passed, the body of the target has been affected by the curse seal to a certain extent. However, the risk of performing the reincarnation ceremony will be reduced to the limit. When Xuan Che knew about this, he had to admire that Orochimaru really had a trick. You damn monster. Knowing the end of the youngest son, Sarutobi Hiruzen's anger rose to the extreme, roaring toward Orochimaru. Fire-style ashes burn. Orochimaru kept smiling, and spit out a lot of hot dust, blocking Sarutobi Hiruzen's sight for a while. At this time, my son is best at fire style. Seeing Orochimaru's use of this trick, Sarutobi Hiruzen became even more angry, directly summoning out his own ape demon, and roared. I'm going to kill you, Orochimaru. Sarutobi Hiruzen, holding a wishful stick, rushed out of the hot ashes and shouted at Orochimaru with a fierce face. Follow Master Hokage, a Sarutobi Jonin shouted sharply. Hundreds of ninjas from the Sarutobi and Shimura families swarmed. Even Orochimaru faced such a scale of encirclement and suppression. Can't help but feel powerless. The person who died today will only be you, teacher, not only you, but your family will be buried with you. Orochimaru suddenly used the great fireball technique towards the sky. It is not a huge fireball, but it draws a bright orange-red arc in the night sky. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't know the purpose of Orochimaru's behavior, but instinctively felt a strong sense of uncertainty. Huh? Have you started? That guy. Xuan Che, standing in the courtyard of the Senju clan, noticed the arc of fire in the night sky, and turned to shout to Yi Yuan Lin and Terumi Mei in the house. Lin, Ming, gone. Now, Master Xuan Che. Nohara Lin in the room poured a full glass of papaya milk from the refrigerator. 1 cup each in the morning, afternoon and evening. This is a habit she has maintained for many years. Lin, are you too hard, right? Advertisement Terumi Mei ridiculed. Humph. Then don't drink it, Nohara Lin pouted. Don't think that you don't know that you, shameless D-cup, are also drinking. Terumi Mei's face turned red, and she snatched the cup in Nohara Lin's hand, filled herself with a cup and drank it. How is D enough? My goal is a G-class tank like Tsunade. Ming, do you feel that you have a dry mouth after drinking milk? Yi Yuan Lin's expression suddenly became a little bit painful, and she felt as if she was drunk. Terumi Mei, who had just finished drinking, slammed her lips curiously. Okay, it seems a bit hot. Immediately, she also felt something wrong with her body. 2 minutes later, Xuan Che in the courtyard couldn't bear to walk into the room. Drink milk for so long? You're like this. I want to educate you on behalf of your parents. The two girls turned red, holding the unwashed clothes that they had changed from practicing this morning, and twisted them in front of their noses. Xuan Che said that if this happens, he must not be this kind of man. Whenever Xuan Che saw this kind of plot in his previous life, he couldn't wait to hang the author on a tree and get a whip. Can you write such a brain-dead plot? Are you sick with TMD? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. However, I just entered Rin Nohara's room. In third-rate urban novels, there are always plots in which the heroine is drugged by the villain, and then the hero uses his internal power to help the heroine force the drug. After all, Tsunade also lives here, and Tenten is like that. It's not a small excitement for them. Well, he also knew this habit of the Changan trio over the years. Now Xuan Che really thought he had traveled to Lifen. Damn it, what did he see? Hold on, pull it, don't be so unruly. Master Xuan Che, okay, so uncomfortable. Two young girls held his arms, one left and the other right. Seeing Xuan Che coming in a daze. Chapter 139. Finally, I'm finally going to meet again, Lin. With the strong physique brought by a Fae, coupled with the cultivation in the grottos over the years, Obito enters the Konoha village all the way. Of course, there are also extremely special reasons for Konoha's current situation. All the attention of the village has been shifted to the unrest in the Kushina and Sarutobi tribes where childbirth is taking place in the suburbs. No one noticed at all. A white shadow flicked across Konoha at extremely fast speed. There is one person. At this moment, in the residence of the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Itachi is sitting in the courtyard with his younger brother Sasuke, who is less than 3 months old. For some reason, Sasuke couldn't stop crying today, so he could only continue to comfort him. It may be a natural talent for ninja, or it may be just a coincidence. Itachi only felt that something flashed past the clan land. And when he looked up, except for the bright and uncertain full moon in the night sky, nothing was seen. Is it an illusion? Itachi secretly said inwardly. Wow. At this moment, Sasuke started crying again. Don't cry, brother is here. Itachi calmed down again and again. Lin is not there. Putting on Alfie's body, the whole person looked like a pervert Obito and came to Yi Yuan Lin's window. Looking inside, there was no one in the space, and all the daily necessities such as furniture had been removed. The thick dust knew at a glance that no one had lived in it for a long time. Oh, I forgot to tell you that since the end of the Third Ninja War, Lin Nohara moved to the Senju clan to live with Hitaki Xuan Che and Tsunade Haim. White Zetsu's voice passed through Alfie's body into Obito's brain. Nani? Obito's face changed suddenly, but when I heard the name of Tsunade, his face became a little better, and he turned and jumped on the roofs of Konoha's houses, and ran towards Senju's clan. The biggest one is. White Zetsu seemed to be afraid that Obito might find it wrong, and reminded again. At this time, the goddess Rinpoche's smile, like an angel, played like a slide in Obito's mind. Finally meet again, Lin. Advertisement the moment when Obito stepped on the wall of Xuan Che's mansion. I only saw my goddess, holding Xuan Che's cheeks, and constantly sending her lips upwards. Next to him, there was another girl with voluptuous wine-red hair and slightly curly hair with beautiful facial features. She slammed Yi Yuan Lin away on her shoulders, grabbed Xuan Che's face, and kissed him. However, Nohara Lin was not to be outdone, and began to take the initiative to wrap her hands around Xuan Che's neck and start planting strawberries. For a moment, Lin's angelic smile was played in Obito's mind just now. All shattered at this moment. The double-hook jade in the pupils of a pair of eyes rotates wildly, in less than 10 seconds. Turned into a triangle sickle shape. Ah! Obito, who only feels that the sky is falling, has a blank mind at this moment. The endless anger completely ignited his brain and let out a stern roar. At this moment, Yukina Ogiso, Eri Sawamura, and Saionji world possessed. Hokage's strongest NTR player, Uchiha Runtu, is born. What is this breath? Xuan Che's face changed, and he turned to look outside. I was found, Obito, go. A Fae reluctantly manipulated Obito's figure and quickly slid out of Xuan Che's field of vision. That kid. Xuan Che's pupils shrink slightly, although he slipped quickly, he still saw it. Under that black robe, there was a face like a spiral. Smelly boy, I really didn't die. Xuan Che subconsciously wanted to catch up. However, I'm going. Terumi Mei, don't pick lousy belt. Lin. Dress me well. Day. Looking at these two obviously abnormal girls. Xuan Che was desperate. It's not impossible to forcibly leave them here. But the ghost knows what will happen after this. Xuan Che said that he is very poor in medical ninjutsu. No, he does not know medical skills at all. At least, it wouldn't be such a useless skill that forced Tsubaki medicine out of their bodies. The only way to get the two of them back to normal is their own summoning beast Jenny Turtle. No way, solve it as soon as possible. Xuan Che let out a helpless cry and put his hands together. Summoning technique, come out, Jenny Turtle, 0 fine flowers. Advertisement. Ah! The violent Obito unconsciously exploded wood-style cutting technique, making many pedestrians walking on the street unresponsive and tragically dying in the hands of cutting technique. Obito didn't notice it himself. Under Alfie's deliberate lure, he was rushing in the direction of the outskirts cabin. Me, where am I? Here, where is it? In a state of confusion, Obito couldn't even see the world in front of him. From time to time, Obito came to a conclusion. This, the world he wants from time to time. Here, hell, Obito, stop, right in front of the place where Kushina gave birth. Hitaki Tsukumo and Namikaze Minato are guarding it. If you go forward, it will be very dangerous. Zero White Zetsu's voice faintly echoed in his ears. Kushina. 9 Tails? By the way, 9 Tails? Mangekyo in Obito's eyes released scarlet blood? No, that's right, this is hell, I want to ruin this hell. Kumo in his hand stabs the newborn Naruto without hesitation, son. A man dressed in a black robe and surrounded by a weird white shell is holding the newborn Naruto in one hand and Kuonai in the other. After a full 6 hours, the cry of babies from inside the wooden house finally relieved Hitaki, Kakashi, Shisui and others who were guarding the door. No, it's okay. The couple turned to look. When Namikaze Minato and Kushina turned their heads and looked over. Go to Kushina first and quickly strengthen the seal. Thank you, Kushina. Wow. I saw an extra wound on the back of Tsunade's hand that was scratched by Kuonai. Tsunade suddenly let out a cry of astonishment. And seeing the excited Namikaze Minato before he could hug his newborn son, Tsunade yelled. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Yes. Namikaze Minato hurried over, put his hands on Kushina's abdomen, gently looked at his nearly collapsed wife, and smiled. Just when Kushina wanted to smile back at Namikaze Minato. Chapter 140. Stop, Minato hissed and screamed, turning into a flash of light and rushing away. The newborn child died in front of him, he would never allow such a thing to happen. In the next instant, Minato appeared in the other corner of the wooden house, holding Naruto tightly in his arms. And Obito also appeared beside Kushina. Yurihong and Shizune behind Tsunade were shocked. What's the matter? When did that guy transfer to Lord Kushina? Could it be that he has the same speed as Mr. Minato? Tsunade also glared at the weird man in black and whispered. Just now, he seemed to have passed through my hand and grabbed the child directly, just as weird. Humph. Obito let out a cold snort. The right eye distorted all the surrounding space and transferred his own space with Kushina. Time and space ninjutsu, Minato's face changed drastically. A hole, don't even want to run. Tsunade roared and swung an iron fist to cover the mask on the opponent's face. The pupil of the left eye under Obito's mask also spins extremely fast. Tsunade's body also began to be distorted, but it felt completely different. This is, even Tsunade, who has experienced many battles, felt that something was wrong. I want to get rid of, but feel that my body is fixed in a tiny space. Can't move at all. Flying Thunder God. Minato shot again, holding Naruto with his left hand and throwing another Flying Thunder God kunai with his right hand, the moment he teleported to Tsunade's side. Throwing Flying Thunder God twice. Get out of Kamui's attack area with Tsunade. The only one who can deal with time and space ninjutsu is time and space ninjutsu. However, it was also when Minato successfully rescued Tsunade. The person and Kushina are no longer seen, oh no. Namikaze Minato's face changed drastically. Tsunade made a decisive decision, kicked open the door of the wooden house, waved and ordered. Kushina was robbed by an unknown person and the whole village was searched. Advertisement. As soon as he said this, the expressions of Hitaki and others, who had been waiting outside the door, changed drastically. What happened? They stayed here and didn't see anyone enter. But I see Tsunade's solemn expression to the limit, and Namikaze Minato, who was anxious. Everyone instantly understood that this was not a joke. Immediately dispersed, the whole village was searched. Right Uchiha Madara developed, specifically for the center of the unblocking formation of the tail beast. Kushina, who looked pale and painful, stared at the mysterious man in front of her and said with difficulty, "What do you want to do? Destroy this world?" With Alfie's help, Obito's voice was as good as Madara's. Varied, Kushina uttered a word in astonishment, and Obito's palm was pressed against her abdomen. Sealing technique solution. Summoning technique, come out, 9 tails. Ho 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 ho. The red chakra on the surface of the body turned into a brutal silhouette of a beast, roaring out of her body. The feeling of tearing apart the lower body completely made Kushina feel more painful than death. No matter how powerful a master is, it is difficult to bear this level of pain. Not to mention that she is still a new childbirth. In the next second, 9 tails regained a new life, but seemed to lose her sanity, looking at Jinchuriki, who had bound her for decades. Instinctively pat down with a paw. At the same time, the Sarutobi tribe in Konoha village. Facing the cage-level Sarutobi Hiruzen, coupled with the siege of hundreds of Sarutobi and Shimura ninjas, Orochimaru quickly showed a trend of defeat. What's the matter? Why hasn't that guy Xuan Che come for reinforcements yet? Summoning the triple Rashomon to defend in a triangle shape, Orochimaru gritted his teeth and muttered to himself. The original plan was that he jumped to fight with Sarutobi Hiruzen and Sarutobi and Shimura. Then Xuan Che came to help himself and wipe out all these people. In the end, the charge was placed on Orochimaru's head. However, Xuan Che did not arrive for a long time. Ho ho ho, advertisement hot breath, extremely evil feeling. The complexion of everyone at the scene changed suddenly. Because they all saw it. Under the full moon, roaring and roaring, it seems that the moon in the night sky will be swallowed into the belly in the next second. 0. 9 tails. Even Orochimaru was taken aback, although he also knew that when Jinchuriki gave birth, it was the easiest time for the tail beast to get out of sleep. But with so many powerful ninjas in Tsunade, it shouldn't be a simple matter for 9 tails to break the seal. Is it entangled by 9 tails? Orochimaru frowned. Fire-style Earth Dragon Bullet. Suddenly, a mud dragon rushed through the upper part of Rashomon's doorframe and attacked Orochimaru. Orochimaru turned sideways slightly, avoiding this trick, quickly merged into the earth, and sneered. The plan is blocked. Mr. Sarutobi, it seems that I lost this time. The bill between us will be calculated next time. With so many ninjas from the Sarutobi and Shimura families, there is no reinforcement from Xuan Che. Orochimaru knows very well that it is absolutely impossible for him to have a break with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Anyway, what he wanted this old man to see had already been shown to him. Now is not the time for our decisive battle. Don't worry, teacher, there will be opportunities in the future. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared. Turning to look around, he found that the other Orochimaru was fully integrated into the land. Knowing that his son Asuma is dead, Sarutobi Hiruzen's original expectation of rescuing his youngest son has completely transformed into hatred of Orochimaru. The Orochimaru just now was Shadow Clone. He must kill this rebel and avenge his son. Just wait for the next time. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. The roaring dragon head spit out from the mouth, and Orochimaru's whole body was ignited in an instant. Sarutobi Hiruzen one-handed seal, fire-style fire dragon fireball. Forget it, at this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen instantly figured it out. Do you think you can run, Orochimaru? Show up just to attract your attention? The real Orochimaru was ready to escape as early as 9 tails ran away. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who thought he had succeeded, suddenly heard Orochimaru's voice coming from the opposite direction, and his expression changed drastically. Orochimaru spread his hands and smiled, and then his body seemed to melt and began to dissolve into the earth. I'm really old, I hope you can live until I come back. Chapter 141 Bang! Orochimaru's body completely melted into the earth. Sarutobi Hiruzen slammed the Rashomon next to him with a weak punch. Because chakra was not used for protection, blood was spread on the skin immediately. 3. Lord Third Generation. Seeing what Sarutobi Hiruzen looked like, none of the surrounding ninjas of Sarutobi and Shimura stepped forward to discourage him. Must pay the price, Orochimaru, Sarutobi Hiruzen resolutely shouted in a low voice. Ho 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 9 tails under the full moon are still roaring. It was the last moment when 9 tails wanted to slap Jinchuriki Kushina, who had restrained herself for decades, out of instinct. Another golden flash came by surprise. Boom! 9 tails smashed the land on the spot with a palm. Namikaze Minato. Water, Minato. Kushina looked pale and dying, and said with difficulty. Just seeing the 9 tails in front of him, Namikaze Minato had guessed what happened. Just after 2009, 9 tails broke the seal. As a Parturian in Jinchuriki, Kushina suffered so much that he could not imagine. Kushina, don't talk. I will take you to Master Tsunade. Once the tail beast escapes, Jinchuriki must die. Namikaze Minato naturally knew it. However, if you leave it to Tsunade-sama, maybe there is another way. Namikaze Minato comforted herself so inwardly. The lives of his wife and children made Namikaze Minato ignore the nine tails in front of him and the strange and mysterious person above him. Launch Flying Thunder God again and leave at the speed of light. Namikaze Minato's face changed drastically when he saw the eyes of Nine Tails. How could this happen? Namikaze Minato's full use of Flying Thunder God's speed is definitely above Nine Tails. Find Tsunade one step ahead and hand Kushina to the other party. Lost the tail beast? Advertisement. After learning about the situation, Tsunade's expression also changed suddenly. The survival rate of Jinchuriki without the tail beast is 0. This is something everyone in the ninja world knows. Looking at Kushina, there is only the air of going out, not the air of coming in. Tsunade couldn't bear the blow, so she could only put Naruto on her side and use her own medical chakra to barely help her extend her life. Nine Tails has entered Konoha, Kakashi yelled in horror. The others turned around and looked around. Konoha's wall was as weak as a paste in front of the giant Nine Tails. The side of the gate was easily knocked open, and each of the Nine Tails that raged had more power than Sarutobi Hiruzen. Destroy the surrounding houses completely. The screams of the villagers resounded throughout the village. Minato, you will deal with the mysterious man who released the tail beast, and the others will join me to stop Nine Tails. Hitaki made a decisive decision and split the team into 2 teams. Wood-style silent killing binding technique. Seeing that the damage caused by Nine Tails became more and more massive, Shisui chose to be the first to do it. Although it can't be compared with first Hokage Senju Hashirama, a large number of wooden slats with B-level power entangled Nine Tails' right front paw and temporarily restrained his ankle. It seems to have sensed his own nemesis ability, the breath of wood style. With scarlet eyes, Nine Tails turned to look at the White Fang team. What, however, when I saw the face of Nine Tails? All the people present were stunned again. What world in those huge eyes? Sharingan. However, everyone knows that when Guyu appears in the eyes of non-Uchiha people, the possibility of transplantation is ruled out. There is only one reason: remote control of Sharingan. What's the matter? Nine Tails was controlled by Sharingan. Shisui was completely stupid in place, completely unaware of the fact that Nine Tails' paws had already been photographed at him. A blue flash burst out. At the very last moment of the cut, Shisui threw away. You kid stupid? Distracted in battle, Hitaki slapped Shisui on the forehead angrily. Yes, I'm sorry. Advertisement. Shisui's eyes were still a little dull. The impact of this incident on him was too great. If this scene is seen by other Konoha people, however, in many cases, it is often what is afraid of. Not to mention that Nine Tails broke such a big deal, can other Konoha shinobi people not come? In this area, the nearest is Hyuga. The Vitiligo family led by brothers Hyuga Heishi and Hyuga Hizashi arrived first. However, when they saw the fascinating 3-gold jade in Nine Tails' eyes. All stupid. Then, Inazuka, Moonlight, Shiranui, and the Ino Shikacho family. Hyuga Hizashi. 9, the one in Nine Tails' eyes, could it be? Right, Sharingan. Inazuka Claw. This is Sharingan's illusion control? Are Uchiha people controlling Nine Tails? Yamanaka Keiichi. I'm not dreaming, am I? Nine Tails is controlled by Uchiha's people? Naraluju. Everyone calm down, the current situation is to quickly suppress Nine Tails. Where did Xuan Che go? Hitaki Tsukumo let out an angry roar, but in this desperate situation, he had to take the lead in pulling out the short blade. The thunder and lightning burst into this arm, and he shouted. Frightened Uchiha Fugaku barely suppressed the horror in his heart, and responded in a cold sweat. Many Konoha shinobi people behind him responded in unison. Hitaki Tsukumo shouted, I don't have time to care about the others right now, Patriarch Fugaku. Yes. Stop Nine Tails first. However, the look in their eyes by other Konoha shinobi people made the police force very uneasy. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Sharingan in the eyes of Nine Tails. And at this time, the Uchiha tribe, the farthest from here, is the Uchiha army led by Uchiha Fugaku. What is this? No wonder the eyes of other Konoha shinobi people will look like that. Think about it from another place, and it will be the same when you are yourself. Uchiha Fugaku himself and the Uchiha people are all stupid. Yes, finally arrived. Forget it, before he comes, everyone will block him with me, never let Nine Tails get closer to the inside of the village. But immediately, Uchiha Fugaku and the others understood why. It's like, they usually look at the expressions of criminals. Chapter 142. What the hell is going on? Exactly, what happened? Uchiha Fugaku raised his head and looked up, quickly avoiding the falling claw of Nine Tails. Uchiha Fugaku made a seal with one hand and spit out a huge fire dragon head from his mouth. Fire-style dragon fire technique, however, facing the attack of Uchiha Fugaku. Nine Tails just let one of his 9 tails pass by, and easily beat it into sparks. The tip of the tail is swept in front of Uchiha Fugaku's moon. A strong corrosive burning sensation came from the wound. The wounds caused by Nine Tails are difficult to heal. Because its chakra is extremely corrosive, it will prevent wounds from healing. However, the current Uchiha Fugaku does not care about the pain from the wound. See the scarlet Sharingan in the eyes of Nine Tails. There is only one question in his mind, where will Uchiha go? He can't imagine, or dare not imagine, even if it succeeds in suppressing Nine Tails. How will Uchiha survive in Konoha in the future? In the sky, Hitaki has turned into blue lightning, galloping on 9 tails. Before the attack of 9 tails falls on the body, stimulate the muscles with lightning-style chakra to achieve an acceleration effect for dodge. With the same hands, one after another bloodstains were left on 9 tails. But even so, 9 tails relies on strong resilience. No matter how much Hitaki Tsukumo attacks, his wound can heal in the next second. When I saw the wound I left on 9 tails' arm, it healed on its own. Hitaki Tsukumo wiped the sweat stains on his forehead and cursed in a low voice. Damn it, if you don't launch a deadly attack, his wounds will heal no matter how you hit it, and my chakra is almost used. By the way, what the hell is Xuan Che doing? Halfway through the scolding, Hitaki couldn't help but stare at Xuan Che's house. What the hell are you doing? The fighting power of these 2 girls is too strong. What kind of medicine are they taking? Xuan Che would never admit that he almost lost to these 2 fledgling little girls. Looking at the 2 girls who were asleep, Xuan Che took a deep breath and quickly fastened his belt. From a distance, I can clearly see the 9 tails raging at the entrance of the village. Did it turn out to be like this? Tisk, Uchiha Madara, the old lady, can actually figure out how to lose it. Advertisement to say that Xuan Che has read many books in his previous life. It means that in the Hokage world, no one knows what the Tauren means better than him. Although to be precise, Lin and Runtu are not in that kind of relationship. This is probably not a Tauren either. With Obito's kind of, as long as she is happy, licking the dog's heart. If only Lin chose someone else, he might not be blackened yet. Because even in the original book, Lin can survive. Finally grew up, she may also choose the object of Kakashi more likely than Obito. Not up to Blacken's requirements, but if it becomes in front of him, the goddess is hurt by that, but it is not a grade at all. Although Madara's old Yinbi has already completed Blacken against Obito, there is no guarantee that he will do any damage. In the past, I think it still. Thinking of this, Xuan Che split into a shadow clone, carried the 2 girls on his shoulders, and flew towards the small wooden house in the suburbs where Tsunade was. By the way, Tsunade saw the situation of these 2 girls. Didn't he use a kitchen knife to chop himself? Xuan Che muttered inwardly. He shook his head and drove these thoughts out of his head for the time being. What's the matter with a few more confidants for a man like us? If she dares to mess up, she must reinvigorate her husband. The other side of the forest outside Konoha. There have been more than dozens of rounds of confrontation between the 2 time-space ninjutsu users. Are you from the Uchiha family? But those with such powers are by no means simple people, and the Uchiha family does not have your number. The Flying Thunder God's attack penetrated the opponent's body again, and Minato shouted solemnly. Who are you? Why did you attack Konoha? On physical ability, it is about Jonin level. There is nothing particularly noteworthy, however, the opponent's time and space ninjutsu really made him feel cold on his back. They have the ability to hollow one's own body and to suck the opponent into space. Once locked, it is difficult to escape. The reason why I can escape repeatedly is thanks to Flying Thunder God's instant transfer ability. In order to destroy this hellish world, if you want to ask my name. At this point, Obito hesitated. It stands to reason that he doesn't care about everything in this world anymore. Including your name and the identity of Uchiha Obito. Advertisement, however, when Namikaze Minato asked about his name, he still uttered those 4 words by mistake. Backquote Uchiha Madara. Namikaze Minato's expression changed abruptly, but within a few seconds he calmed down again, curling his brows and said. You said you were Uchiha Madara? What a joke. Uchiha Madara in the same era as first Hokage Senju Hashirama? How could he be alive? Believe it or not as your freedom, I want to take away 9 tails today. Obito said indifferently with Uchiha Madara's voice. When he was in the grotto, he often heard White Zetsu discussing the plan of the so-called illusion world with the fool named a Fae. One of the necessities is the 9 big-tailed beasts. It just so happens that I will take 9 tails back today. A delusion. Namikaze Minato's eyes flashed. He has been completely murderous. Although it hasn't been completed yet, I can only use that trick. Namikaze Minato was cold inside, and 4 sharp corners began to appear around Rasengan on his right hand. That is the nature transformation feature that incorporates wind-style chakra. The prototype of the wind-style and spiral shuriken used by Naruto in the future. Do you really want to kill me, Teacher Minato? Obito secretly said inwardly. Even in the rudimentary version, he can still feel the power gap between Rasengan this time and the past. In that case, I won't keep my hands. No matter what the world becomes, it doesn't matter. For a while, Obito was also murderous. If Namikaze Minato knows Obito's inner thoughts. Absolutely vomit blood out of anger. You are about to kill your wife, and you almost killed my son, so you are not allowed to kill me? Boom, just when the 2 sides are on the verge of breaking out. The night suddenly turned into daytime, and the temperature suddenly rose by dozens of degrees. The expressions of the 2 changed suddenly, but in the next second, they saw clearly what was happening before them. It's fire. The flames of the red sun that envelop the entire Konoha village have ignited the night into the day. Chapter 143 What is it like to instantly turn the night into a flame of day? Before that, ask Namikaze Minato, he does not know. But now, he saw it with his own eyes. Not only him, but the entire Konoha people saw it. The scenery is like a god. The flame wall, which is tens of meters high, turns into a new enclosure, completely enclosing the entire Konoha village. And these flames seemed to have their own lives, and began to gather towards the 9 tails in the center. Even if he lost his sanity because of being manipulated by illusion. But seeing the hot heat like the sun oppressing him, 9 tails still showed a deep fear on his face and stepped back. In less than a minute, he withdrew from Konoha's village. This is really unexpected. Uchiha has to recite this pot if he doesn't want it. Standing in front of 9 tails, Xuan Che, who looked like an ant, looked up at the behemoth in front of him. To be precise, it was the pair of Sharingan in his pupils. Master Xuan Che is here. Okay, so strong, this flame, just standing here, I feel like I'm going to suffocate. I'm not mistaken, am I? 9 tails, is, scared? There were many fighting with 9 tails in the rear, and the badly wounded Konoha shinobi looked at 9 tails with a look of fear in an incredible way. Just now in their eyes, 9 tails was like a disaster, and in front of this man, it looked like a pet dog, trembling. You guy, where did you go so far? Hitaki Tsukumo yelled irritably, and immediately sat down on the ground. His chakra has bottomed out. If Xuan Che doesn't come again, the situation is really dangerous. Xuan Che turned his back to the foolish old man and did not answer. He can never say that he is detoxifying 2 young girls of the same age, right? I don't understand illusion, nor am I good at solving illusion. Are you sure you want to fight? Xuan Che raised his head and stared at 9 tails. A roar. Perhaps Xuan Che's words stimulated 9 tails, or Obito remotely strengthened the spiritual control of 9 tails. After the 9 tails' throat let out 2 low, fearful whispers, it suddenly turned into a neighing roar. Advertisement: the huge-tailed beast bomb was assembled in just a few seconds and launched at Xuan Che at almost 0 distance. Be careful, Xuan Che, it's tailed beast bomb. Hitaki, who was sitting on the ground, stood up abruptly. For the tail beast, it is also a super S-grade destruction technique. Not to mention 9 tails, the head of the 9 big-tailed beasts. I only know one way to disarm the controlled tail beast, which is to fight it again. At the last moment when 9 tails will launch tailed beast bomb. Xuan Che also put his right hand on the handle of the knife. At the same moment that 9 tails launched the tailed beast bomb, Zanpakuto was also suddenly pulled out. Everything in Vientiane is ashes. Ryujin Jaka Songming. However, Hitaki, who had just gotten up, felt the strange feeling from the blade of Xuan Che. He quickly turned around and shouted to everyone behind him. No, go back quickly. Condensing the flames and hitting them, with the explosive force of drawing a sword, the fire tornado will completely burn the enemy in front of them to death. Before the target is burned to ashes, it will never be extinguished. Puff boom boom boom. If you change it to a farther place, Xuan Che doesn't mind head-on with 9 tails tailed beast bomb to see what the result will be. But Konoha behind it was still too close, therefore, Xuan Che still draws his sword quickly. Suppress 9 tails tailed beast bomb before it is fully launched. In a sea of fire, 9 tails tailed beast bomb dissipated in front of the mouth before the final launch. A huge body like a mountain, rolling in the endless sea of fire, roaring mournfully. Are you trying to burn yourself to death? Hitaki Shumao jumped next to Xuan Che and yelled complaining. I have tried my best. If 9 tails sends out the tailed beast bomb, the 2 forces collide, not to mention half, at least 1/3 of Konoha will be gone. Xuan Che said calmly. Suddenly, Xuan Che discovered that the 3-gold jade in Kurama's eyes had gradually disappeared. Flicking Ryujin Jaka again, Kai Yan returned to the blade. And most of his body's fur was burned away, and his body was dark 9 tails. Advertisement: the Guyu in his eyes also dissipated under the gaze of Konoha's ninjas, and his huge body fell heavily to the ground. Make the whole Konoha tremble. Inuzuka Claw was dumbfounded. 9 tails, was defeated? Yamanaka Kaiichi. No, you deserve to be Xuan Che, so easy to give 9 tails to. Naraluji. 9 tails is in a controlled state, and its strength may be affected, but this is indeed too exaggerated. Controlled. Hearing these 3 words in Nara's mouth, Hyuga Heishi frowned and quietly glanced in the direction of the Uchiha family. After being spotted by Uchiha Fugaku, he quickly looked away. Is Kushina still alive? Xuan Che retracted the knife into the sheath again, and asked sideways. This. I'll go and bring her. Hitaki Tsukumo didn't care about anything else, and rushed towards the cabin. Failed. The fact that 9 tails was burned by flames and lost their fighting ability was also sensed by Obito, who was a summoning. That man. The previous images of Xuan Che and Lin came to mind again, and Obito gritted his teeth as if he had crushed a tooth. Minato's expression on the opposite side changed slightly. Well, I will give up 9 tails this time. Obito still uses the tone of Uchiha Madara, with a condescending voice. Next time, you will be enlightened, the golden glitter and Hitaki Xuan Che. After speaking, Obito's body was hollow again, and Namikaze Minato didn't stop it because he hadn't figured out the principle of this space ninjutsu. Even if you want to stop it, there is no alternative. In the end, he could only watch the other party disappear before his eyes. Kushina. Now Namikaze Minato cares most about his wife. After being pulled away from the tail beast, he can go to Uzumaki Kushina in another world at any time. Chapter 144. Hitaki Xuan Che, my old lady is going to kill you. When Hitaki returned with Tsunade and Kushina, Tsunade pounced on like a fried cat. The sudden change Nara Shikahisa, Hyuga Heishi and others were all scared. Although Tsunade-sama usually has a violent temperament. But this exaggerated appearance is really the first time I have seen it. Combine the situation of Rin Nohara and Terumi Mei, who are blushing enough to boil a kettle behind Tsunade. Xuan Che also guessed that Tsunade definitely knew it. Hold on, I'll explain this to you later. Is it okay to do business first? Xuan Che raised his hand to block Tsunade's small fist that can break human bones and punched you in the chest, with a look of helplessness. Why should I blame all the faults on me? I am also a victim. You better think of a better reason, otherwise it depends on how my old lady cleans up you. Tsunade smiled like a mother Shira from hell. The other Konoha shinobi who looked around shuddered. Put Kushina next to Nine Tails, who was completely burnt. Xuan Che felt it for a while, still feeling angry. Seal Nine Tails back into her body again. Hitaki Tsukumo has guessed what Xuan Che is thinking. After the tail beast in Jinchuriki was removed, it was not uncommon for Jinchuriki to seal it back before death. Isn't Naruto the best example? Although it later became Sage of Six Paths and opened it directly. But before Xuan Che could answer, a light flashed. Namikaze Minato had rushed back and replied. No, I'm afraid Kushina's body cannot bear the seal of Nine Tails again. Could it be that Kushina wants to die? Shi Rihong almost cried. No, there is another way. Namikaze Minato sweated profusely. Divide Nine Tails into yin and yang, seal half back to Kushina, and leave the other half to me. Speaking of this, Namikaze Minato hesitated. He wanted to say to seal the other half in his body. But after thinking about it, this seems unrealistic. Advertisement: he is the only person on the scene who knows how to seal the tail beast. It is impossible for him to impose a seal on himself, right? Unless it is a ghoul seal, then you can use Shinigami's hand to complete the seal on yourself. But Namikaze Minato is not mentally ill. Why did he commit suicide? Should I come? Nawaki asked. Nawaki? Tsunade frowned. I don't have time to hesitate. Sister, Nine Tails is divided into two halves, and half is sealed back into Kushina's body. The other half must also choose a Jinchuriki and... At this point, Nawaki fell into a brief silence and said, I also want to contribute to Konoha. As the grandson of first Hokage but not as talented as a ninja, Nawaki has always been troubled by his own weakness. If he can have the power as powerful as his sister. You won't be so embarrassed of Grandpa. The other ninjas were silent. Everyone knows what it means to be Jinchuriki. That is not a human anymore, but the ultimate weapon of Shinobu Village. Just a tool. Of course, the word ultimate may no longer be added. Seeing Nine Tails in front of Xuan Che, the defeat is like a wild dog incompetent ending. Even let them have the illusion that I can do with me. Be realistic and work hard in other areas. You are not suitable. However, Xuan Che poured a basin of cold water directly on Nawaki's head, and immediately raised his head at the yellow-haired baby who was held in Shizun's arms. There is another suitable one. Naruto. Namikaze Minato's look changed drastically. Brother-in-law, are you serious? Nawaki and others also looked incredible. The two-tailed Jinchuriki of Cloud Shinobi is made up of wooden golem, who also became Jinchuriki at an early age. The soul of the child has not been finalized, because in some ways, the risk of fusion with the tail beast is the lowest. Xuan Che raised his hand and said, of course, I just gave you one more choice. How to choose is up to you. Namikaze Minato opened her mouth and took her newborn son from Shizun's arms. Naruto, you will become a ninja of Konoha in the future, right? Zero Find Flowers advertisement. Your name is the name of the hero in Jiraiya's ninja novel. So, I believe you can overcome it. Thinking of this, Namikaze Minato's eyes suddenly became determined, and he shouted in a low voice. Start the sealing ceremony. Nine Tails is divided into yin and yang, which are sealed in Uzumaki Kushina and Namikaze Naruto. However, it said it was Namikaze Naruto, but after some discussion, it was decided to change its name to Uzumaki Naruto. The reason is not to hide the identity of Naruto as the son of Hokage, as in the original book. And Namikaze Minato hopes that Naruto can always remember the greatness of his mother, Kushina. So replace Naruto's last name with Uzumaki. And Konoha's Jinchuriki became both, and it became the village's top secret. Tsunade ordered that no one was allowed to leak, and afterwards, the things to be dealt with are completely stacked. The mysterious man attacked, Nine Tails broke out, and Orochimaru took advantage of the chaos to attack third Hokage and so on. Rin Nohara and Terumi Mei knelt side by side on the tatami mats, lowering their heads not to look into Tsunade's eyes. Even Hitaki Tsukumo and the others were shocked when they learned that Orochimaru took advantage of the chaos attack. Yurihong shuddered suddenly, quickly stepped back to the corner, trembling loudly and laughed. Xiao Xiaochu was able to hang up the kettle, almost writing the word envy on his face. As Tsunade of fourth generation, he is holding a 3-council trial at home. However, the current follow-up processing of these matters is carried out by Nawaki, who is Hokage's assistant. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. They felt that as long as they dared to raise their heads, Tsunade could kill them directly with his eyes. You are too much. You are the first, Tsunade asked without a smile. She expressed dissatisfaction, but the three of us are a team. You two actually took the lead. What, do you still feel sorry? Although now, it feels almost like it, son. No, lipstick, Master Tsunade. Such a thing happened unexpectedly? Chapter 145. Many readers may want to ask, Master Hitaki Xuan Che, why isn't there? Nonsense, when a woman is angry, don't hide, isn't it all right? Anyway, at this time, everything you say is wrong. What kind of man are you if you fight with a woman? What kind of man are you if you lose? Although this world is a world that relies on fists to speak. But what kind of man are you if you fight with a woman? What kind of man are you if you lose? Therefore, at this time, there is only one strategy adopted. Hide. But to be honest, you really have a set. There's a lot of fighting outside, and you have a lot of artillery at home, right? Is this a new way for young people to play? Tsunade bowed her waist and asked with a smile, but the Changan trio couldn't feel the warmth at all and said inwardly. So fierce. Like a certain location in Tsunade, so fierce. However, when speaking of the young man, the three girls clearly heard Tsunade raise her voice several times. It seems that even if his appearance and body are still young, he is already in his 40s. I still have a strong resentment about age. No, it's not that. Nohara Lin was almost crying. Tsunade's heart softened, and immediately reminded herself not to be fooled by this girl. The thought of fighting against the freak who used time and space ninjutsu on the front line, these two little girls were behind the B******ch with Hitaki Xuan Che. She was itchy teeth in anger, we didn't mean it. As expected to be a person in the future, Terumi Mei could not stand the pressure from Tsunade at first, and shouted. We are the victims, okay? The first time it was handed over in this situation? 15 is also the time when a girl is pregnant. I also thought about how romantic my first time would happen. It turned out to be on such a day, and it was still two people together. Terumi Mei said that she has lost a lot of money. Advertisement. Tsunade's eyes stared like copper bells. What's the meaning? Are you the victims? It's amazing, and it can be a hit. Tsunade rolled up his sleeves and wanted to have a fight with this girl. Master Tsunade, please calm down and listen to our explanation. Nohara Lin hurriedly shouted. Tsunade once again abruptly suppressed the fire that was coming out of his throat, and the veins bulged vaguely. Say, I'm listening. Actually once again, I was frightened by Tsunade's cannibalistic expression. Rin Nohara shivered, not daring to look at Tsunade's eyes again, whispering after she and Terumi Mei drank the glass of milk last night. It became strange and repeated it to Tsunade. After Tsunade and Yurion listened to Nohara Lin's explanation. All sluggish eyes stopped blinking. What kind of magic plot is this? Tsunade instinctively suspected that Xuan Che's B******D had premeditated. But after another thought, it's not right. Really want to plan, he should take these two girls outside, how dare to be at home. And even though the B*******D didn't know how to do things, he couldn't do such a thing at such a critical time. Tsunade has heard about the trouble in Nine Tails. Orochimaru took the opportunity to raid the Sarutobi tribe, looking for the old man Sarutobi to understand his grievances. With Orochimaru alone, it is impossible for him to kill Sarutobi Hiruzen under the protection of the Sarutobi and Shimura clans. Tsunade can conclude that Xuan Che was behind the scenes and played a lot of role. It is even possible that he and Orochimaru agreed to kill the old man. Don't ask why. Tsunade can guess. People who have been sleeping together for decades, can you still not understand this? Master Hokage, Master Nawaki, and the heads of the ninja clan, please go to the administration building to discuss the reconstruction of the village. At this time, an Anbu appeared in the courtyard and shouted towards the house. Although Nawaki is taking care of it, the assistant is an assistant after all, and Hokage, Tsunade, must take care of many things himself. Come back and pack you guys. Tsunade pulled one by one on the faces of the little foxes Nohara Lin and Terumi Mei. Advertisement. Hey, it's so slippery, after all, a girl under 16 years old, youth buff blessing 0. No matter how old the damn man is, he likes 18. Nohara Lin and Terumi Mei can only let Tsunade pull. Let the tigress calm down, and their lives will be easier in the future. Boom, Tsunade's front foot just left with the Anbu player. Master Xuan Che made his debut on the back foot. Oh, I'm back, is Tsunade out? What a coincidence. Suddenly, the Changan trio cast a blank eye at Xuan Che. It was just a matter of making a despised international friendly gesture to him. Shameless. It's ruined. Shisui, the rest of the reconstruction work is on your behalf. On the way to the administrative building with the Anbu, Tsunade noticed the roads of the houses destroyed by Nine Tails. Why was Konoha who was able to give out tail beasts for free instead of money when he first built the village? It's not just because of the character of Senju Hashirama. Because of his wood-style construction skills, he left a lot of construction costs for the village. That's all real money. Shisui wearing an Anbu mask let out a wry smile. Master Tsunade, I'm afraid someone will throw me out with a broom as soon as I make a move. Huh? What's the matter? Tsunade Willow frowned slightly. Investigation this morning revealed that more than 20 people in Konoha died of wood style, and I, as Konoha, may be the only person in the entire ninja world who can use wood style. They suspect me. Shisui said that he was more wrong than Doi, although I have been working with the White Fang team all day from yesterday to now. But in the ninja world, it is too easy to make an alibi. Among other things, a shadow clone can solve most problems. No matter how he explained, Uchiha Shisui, as long as people don't listen, it's useless. Who told you to know wood style? The situation of the Uchiha clan is very bad now. Tsunade thought of Sharingan in Nine Tails' eyes last night, and temporarily suppressed the jealousy in his heart, with a deep expression.